Holy cow, we are live. Whew. Man, we got a show tonight. We've got a show tonight. Got a lot to go over tonight. And unfortunately, I had a couple text messages here with good old the Butsy, and he's struggling. He's got some issues going on right now, just health wise, and hopefully he will be here soon. But I know he's on his way. He had to make a pit stop. So, this is what we do when we go live at the top of the hour. We just got to roll with the punches. I've got a hefty glass of whiskey tonight. Have not drank since the last episode. I did not drink over the good old Open Championship, which was phenomenal, by the way. It just seemed a little too early. I don't know about you guys, but if you're on the West Coast, like I am out here in Arizona, the Open Championship was on. I was up at about 5 a.m. in the morning watching from that point forward, and yeah, just took it easy. Really watched a lot of the Open Championship. It was a final major. Had to make sure I was ready for today and this episode. So not only that, but I watched a lot of the reruns as well. So for those of you just joining in, Butsy is running a little bit behind tonight. He has some, let's just put it this way, some stomach issues, if I may. I don't know if that's sharing too much or not, but just a couple stomach issues. He'll be here as soon as possible. Let's see. Good old Trot Golfer, good evening. Mics need to be raised. Love that out of you. Let me go ahead. You know what's funny? We always bump up the mics for this live, and for whatever reason, it does not. Like when we actually have the audio, it's actually not that loud. So let me just double check to make sure that we're good here. I think right about there we should be pretty locked in. I know Butsy likes to get the microphone right next to his mouth, so I got to be careful on this. But we're going to go right here tonight. If you can hear me all right, hopefully this works out better for you, Trot Golfer. But good evening to you, good sir. Better. Love that. So I'm going to try to keep it a little bit further away tonight as well. I'll let Butsy know that when he comes in. But really can't wait to get into this episode. We've got so much to go over this evening. This is the Open Championship recap episode. We're going to be getting into a lot of stuff. And I know in the show notes for this episode, there's just a ton to go over. Even added in a little bit at the last minute since I was watching the Bryson and Trump break 50 today. So we'll be getting into that. There's going to be some spoiler alerts. So make sure if you haven't watched the Bryson versus Trump at that point, when I say earmuffs, you make sure that you put your earmuffs on because I am going to be talking about that. I know Butsy was trying to catch a little bit of that as he was on his way over to the studio. We've got great stuff tonight. Just great stuff. I mean, after watching that Bryson Trump video, I just want to say, got a lot of great things coming to this podcast episode. I'm doing really, really well so far in holding it on my own. I'm doing really well. Really, really well. And it was hilarious how, in the beginning, Bryson's Bryson, but as they got going along and Trump kept telling him how great that he was in terms of how good Trump is, then all of a sudden Bryson started kind of mimicking the same stuff. I don't know if he meant to do that on purpose or not, but he's like, oh, that was such a good drive I just hit. That was amazing. That was absolutely incredible drive I just hit. Yeah. That's perfect. Perfect shot. Yeah. It's on the green. I know it. And it's like, whoa, okay, Bryson. Way to go, buddy. Really getting into that. And how about that putting stroke from Trot Golfer? I mean, and it goes in, though. That's what's crazy. He has this weird putting stroke, Trump does. to where that thing flies way open post impact. Looks like he cuts the shit out of it, but it actually has a pretty true roll if you watch closely. I'm just like, oh my God, this is incredible stuff that we're watching here. I was engaged with it. I'll get into more of a breakdown once we get into the podcast recording and the episode itself. But man, it was fantastic. And I'm pumped to recap this Open Championship too. I did after every single round, I did a recap on Twitter Spaces. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but it was something that I found enjoyable, just to kind of break down my initial thoughts immediately, and then I had them to review for this episode. So we're pretty locked in when it comes to the Open Championship and the recap that we're going to be going over tonight. We'll get started here in just a few minutes, even if good old Butsy is not on yet. Unfortunately, for those of you joining, I know quite a few of you have just joined. Looks like we got quite a few viewers right now that are jumping on, especially on YouTube and on millions.co. So with that said, Butsy is having a little bit of, tummy issues, I guess you could say. So he's going to be here shortly, hopefully. We hope. Because, we don't want to do this show alone, that's for sure. Got Nathan Strand here. Let's throw you up here. Didn't get the email about the putting league. Oh, don't you worry, Nathan. That is coming and coming shortly. We're going to be talking about that on tonight's episode as well. And since Butsy's not here quite yet, it was something that we're going to leave to the very end of the episode before we kind of get into a Q&A with everybody. But just know that coming up August 1st, so for the month of August, every Thursday, we are going to be having the Pull Hook Professional Putting League, where Butsy and I are going to be the two commentators. We're going to do it live, just like we did for the World Tour Championship, but this is a league, folks. You want to try to find a partner because this is going to be a team event. So what's great about August and with the Thursday and starting on August 1st is that we are going to have 5 weeks of action. 4 weeks we are going to have where the two-man teams, the best 10 teams, are going to advance into a match play championship in the 5th week. It's going to be unbelievable. I cannot wait for the action that we get out there, and obviously we're going to be there. We're going to be commentating. Yes, we might say some things that people don't like, but, we're going to keep it real, we're going to keep it honest, and we're going to keep it critical, just like we do, and just like we did during the World Tour Championships out there at Putting World. But up in Scottsdale, Arizona at Putting World, we are going to get into it. And here's the thing. Think of it like the grass league in a lot of ways, to where we've got the two-man teams, right? You're going to have team names or be able to choose team names. And that being said, there is going to be individual skins on a weekly basis. But at the end, the final championship rounds, that is going to be, once again, team match play. And it's going to be awesome. So skins each week. There's going to be prizes provided by Putting World. We even talked, there's a lot of stuff that is still to be nailed down around this, but we are doing this August 1st. And granted, you got to sign up for the season. It's going to be for the whole month of August, every Thursday. The great news is, if one of those Thursdays you are busy, because we are taking the best 3 out of 4 rounds from each individual team. Oh, there's money involved, Nathan. So there's going to be at least a minimum, as long as we get enough teams in here, which I don't think is going to be a problem. We've got a lot of interest around this so far, but there is going to be at least a purse of $2,000 to the winner, $500 to second place. So more to come around all of that as we get a little bit further into the episode and really start to break it down. I want to wait for Butsy to give all the announcements around the new Professional Putting League. And folks, this is going to be the opening season of the Professional Putting League for the month of August. Once again, every Thursday at 7:45 p.m. there is going to be, and granted, you got to sign up in the beginning, And then from there, there's no signing up later on. And team spots are limited. So you're going to want to sign up right away because there's only so many spots. And once again, I'll get into that towards the end of the episode. I'm so stoked for the Professional Putting League. I can't believe that Putting World reached out to us and was like, hey, you guys did such a great job at the commentary for the World Tour Championships. What do you guys think about putting together a little league of professional putters and commentating on that on a weekly basis? We said, abso-fucking-lutely, we are in. Put us in there. We are ready to go. We can't wait. But there's going to be a lot of action. And then certainly the purse money can rise, by the way, because with how many people, audience members and so forth are being driven to the new Professional Putting League, there's going to be sponsors. And eventually, that prize money is going to keep creeping north. So while we say 2,000 to the winner, 500, it is going to be action-packed. It's going to be a lot of fun, too. So there's going to be specials that Putting World is going to be doing in addition to providing prizes on a weekly basis, as well as, obviously, like I mentioned, individual skins on a weekly basis as well. But there is going to be food and beverage deals as well. So, man, I can't wait. I'm absolutely stoked for it, for doing the commentary. And we're going to have a cameraman out there filming everybody. We're going to get to know each of the teams and the individual players. We're going to be having interviews that are going to be done on a weekly basis. So just expect a lot for this league because it is going to be something that is awesome. We're just getting back the official logo as well. Butsy put together a drawing version of the logo, and we've got a professional designer that's putting that together. We're going to be creating some merchandise around it. So we're looking to really turn this into something that becomes very, very popular. And again, it's going to be limited in terms of this first season. We're going to limit the number of teams. So make sure to stay tuned because we're going to let you know when you're going to be able to sign up. And it's going to be coming soon because obviously it is not this Thursday, but next Thursday. So there's going to be a payment page that's set up. All the tournament stuff is going to get set up in terms of the league and the season. And like I said, there's going to be skins. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait. Nathan Strand, thanks for hopping on and throwing in some comments there to really get us going here. So I haven't done a solo episode in some time, and I don't know if that's what this is going to be or not. It doesn't look like Butsy might be back on his way. He's had to make a couple pit stops, so we'll see. And who knows, even when he gets here, what type of condition is the man going to be in? Is he going to have the flu game type deal like Michael Jordan? We don't know. It's going to be really interesting. I can tell you my dog had some stomach issues yesterday and today as well, so who knows? Might be the same bug going around. So, we're still going to wait a little bit longer for Butsy to get this episode started. I might as well go through a couple of the details around the Professional Putting League as well. So, once again, this is going to be the PPL. Start saying it now. It's going to catch on. The PPL, presented by Pull Hook Golf and Butsy. Now, Butsy obviously is a part of Pull Hook Golf, but he's got his big brand. We want to add that in there as well at Putting World in Scottsdale, Arizona. As I mentioned, it's going to be two-person teams. I would say two-man teams, but the women will get upset because women are allowed to play in this as well. It is an equal opportunity event, so it's not men only. We can have all different types of people that will be a part of this. Only 20 team spots are available, okay? So once again, as soon as we give you word, pay attention to Pull Hook Golf's Instagram account as well as Butsy's Instagram account. We're going to be, as soon as signups are live, we are going to go ahead and post that we're accepting teams, okay? Right now, Butsy's created quite a list of people that are interested. We've gotten just a ton of people that want to sign up and be a part of this. Nathan, to your question, is it going to be 18 holes best ball? So that is how the championship is going to be played. So on a weekly basis, you're going to play out individual. It's going to go by stroke play individual. You're going to play with your partner, okay? So you're going to play with your partner and you're going to play against another team each week, but you can obviously have some side action in between your team and their team. That's perfectly fine. However, the team aspect doesn't really kick in. Well, it does through the regular season, which is the first 4 weeks, okay? So I don't want to get anybody confused here. The first 4 weeks are going to be the regular season. Each person, 3 out of 4 rounds are going to count. And the lowest scores for the top 10 teams are going to move on to the Tour Championship. Now, that Tour Championship is going to be full-on match play. 2 versus 2, best ball out of the 2 groups. And granted, we still need to figure out the best ball aspect to it because we want to make sure that, it's competitive, right? We want to make sure. So even if we have to add up each player's score and do it just straight up match play for the total score on each hole, that might happen as well. So keep an eye out because we're going to test out a few things in this inaugural season, but that championship, we will have everything dialed in because we want to see, okay, Nathan, let's say that you and a partner are going to be playing in the first week of the opening round of the professional putting league. And we've got you matched up against 2 other players. Yes, it's not match play at that point, but we're going to see, okay, if this was best ball, how many holes did each team win? And we're going to break it out that way to figure out what the best route to go is for that Tour Championship round. So we are really stoked about this. And Trot Golfer, what's the entry fee for the month? So for the entire month, it is $500 per player. Okay, $500 per player, $1,000 per team. It is going to be epic, as I mentioned. Putting World is putting in some prizes. There's going to be skins on a weekly basis. There's also going to be that grand prize that everything goes to at the very end. So you can say that we are doing some charity work here, Butsy and I. We're not making a lot of money from this one. We're doing it for you, the professional putters that are out there here in Arizona, and we are doing it for everybody that is going to be watching and the audience. And I'm telling you, the commentary is going to be great because obviously I'm going to be doing it. I'm in that mode after watching Trump and Bryson. I'm going to be great. I know I'm going to be great. It's going to be great. You're going to be great. Everything's going to be great. So can't wait for this to get going. 7:45 p.m. is the start of each round. That may be subject to change, but that is the time as of right now that we have worked out with Putting World. And again, they're going to be doing some drink and food specials on those nights. And basically, you can continue to play all night long up until they close. That is what I was told by the GM, is that they are going to allow everybody to continue to play even after their rounds. So it's going to be pretty awesome from that aspect. There might be some side games too. So after the games are done, Butsy and I might jump in there, start playing a little bit, get a little money game going afterwards. So this is going to be just a really fun, and I think of it like a beer league that's professional. That's what I would say. It's like a beer league that is professional. And with that said, there's also going to be, as I mentioned, it's going to be live stream on millions.co as well as on YouTube. And full commentary by Butsy and I. So we've got Kyle from Cart Barn, guys. Yeah, Butsy here. So yeah, Butsy here. He is not here yet. Dealing with a little bit of stomach issues. Don't know what we're getting tonight in the good old Butsy, man, but we're hoping for a Michael Jordan flu game out of him. I know there's a stomach bug that's been going around. Hit my dog. It's that stomach bug. It got him yesterday and today, so it's been a little bit stressful as a dog dad with that. So seeing Butsy with it, not surprised. It happens, you know. And as I mentioned, we really want the audience to get a introduction to the teams. That's why we're starting off with only 20 teams for the inaugural season of the Professional Putting League, because we want to do team interviews, individual interviews with everybody, and get you guys some airtime so that people can get to know you, so that they can start rooting for you week in and week out. And it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun, especially when we get going. Let's see. Nathan just said, Nathan, when are you going to get Butsy on the lab train? So Butsy's been on the lab train. I actually got him on the lab train. He's been using a lab putter probably for the past 3-4 months now, I believe. Butsy likes to switch out every once in a while, but he always comes back to that lab golf putter. And whenever we play together, he's always got it in the bag. So he putts really, really well with it too. And that lab putter for me is still an absolute cheat code on the greens. It's the closest thing that I've gotten to cheating in golf, and I absolutely love it because it's legal, apparently. That lab putter, man. And Nathan, you saw it when I had mine out there at Putting World for the World Tour Championships, and actually a few weeks before that, I had that lab putter when it first came out, that DF3, and man, that thing was awesome. You tried it out. You absolutely love it. You're a lab guy as well, Nathan. So that it's going to be a lot of fun. That's all I can tell you. The PPL. And I'm glad that I'm doing basically a little pitch segue here before Butsy gets here for the first 20 minutes of the episode on the PPL. I'm sad that he's not here to talk about it with me, because this is the brainchild between Butsy and I, and also with Putting World, and how Putting World was really looking forward to this partnership with us and really creating something special. I mean, that's the thing. This is the inaugural season, but this is going to be one of many in terms of the Professional Putting League, and this is something that we're stoked about. I mean, we're giving our time and spending hours with all of you doing live commentary. I mean, we had an absolute blast. It was one of the best events that we've had with the World Tour Championship. So now with our own league and getting to know each and every one of you that's going to be a part of the league, it's going to be awesome. Can't wait for that. All right. I think we might have to kick off this episode without the Butsy. I'm sad about it, but you know what? Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I don't really want to start without him, but I don't know if he's going to be here anytime soon. He did have to pull off. I did have a text from him around that, so I know he's hurting, so might as well just get started here. Whew. All right. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to make it. I don't know. Here, let me text him real quick. Let me see. Let me see what we got from the good old Butts. My iPad is signing in. I don't know. Yeah, Trot Golfer says you're making the right move. I hope you guys understand how awesome this putting league is going to be. It's going to be hilarious with the commentary, but at the same time, we're going to get to know each and every one of the actual putters. Like for the World Tour Championships, we got to meet a few people, knew a few people from being over there for some of the weekly events that go on. But this is where you're going to be able to get intimate with each of the golfers. And that's where I'm pumped about it. And Nathan, I know you just mentioned that you'll look out for that email. Got to go back to work. Poor guy. Hate to see it, but good luck at work tonight. And again, Thursday nights. Because obviously we got the show Tuesday nights. And that's actually going to become part of our show on Tuesday nights. Is talking a little bit about the Professional Putting League. Gosh, it's going to be epic. I know there's some people too that from out of state and internationally that want to come over and be a part of this. And it's like, how long can you stay? Can you stay for a month? Because it's going to take a month to be a part of this league. And the great news is that we do know that people's schedules and everything can be tough sometimes. So that's why we are accepting 3 out of 4 rounds for the first 4 weeks from each of the players. And then from there, it will move into the championship week, that 5th week. It's going to be sick. All right, I can't get into my messages on my iPad apparently, and that's definitely a problem. So, that being said, I'm going to have to kick off the episode without Butsy. Here we go. We're going to begin in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody, to Pull Hook Golf, the podcast. I'm your host, Matt Cook. Hopefully, sometime tonight, Butsy will be joining us as well. Poor guy's got some stomach issues that are going on, and, he was on his way over here and had to take a pit stop, so hopefully we see him in just a little bit. But we've got an action-packed show for you. It's all going to start with, yes, folks, it's the Open Championship recap. What a week it was at the Open Championship. And then from there, the Barracuda Championship recap. Okay, yeah, I know you didn't watch it, so don't even start with me to say, oh, Barracuda, there was a golf tournament going on. We'll get into that in a second. Bryson and Trump on YouTube. Got a little recap for you from watching it today. So we'll get into Bryson and Trump on YouTube. It's the hottest thing on social media right now. Everybody's talking about it. It's all over the Twitter feeds. People are absolutely doing spoiler alerts. So I'm going to add some spoiler alerts as well. So I will, at the time, tell you earmuffs. And that's going to be your spoiler alert to stop listening. And then from there, we'll get into some of the results. I won't give away exactly what happened. So if you don't mind a little bit of spoiler alert, then that's what that will be. Then we've got the 3M Open preview, which that is what I like to refer to as Minnesota State Open and the Swanie's Open Championship, okay? Because that is where Swanie's is based out of. They're in Minnesota. Great people in Minnesota. Love people from Minnesota. Do a lot of things for people from Minnesota. And with that said, we also from there have the Swanie style segment. Very fitting that we're going to move from the Swanie's Open, the 3M champion or 3M Open, aka the Swanie's Open, to the Swanie style segment. Then from there, we've got LIV Golf UK and the preview around that golf tournament. I'm looking forward to that, actually. I don't know about you guys. I know a lot of you hate on LIV Golf, but I'm excited around just talking about it because it's one of my favorite things to talk about is LIV Golf, whether you love it or hate it. Sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. So we'll see where I'm at today. And then at the very end, which if you were on the live beforehand, we've gone over some of the details around the new professional putting league that is going to be presented by none other than Pull Hook Golf and Butsy. Again, Butsy, how you feel about that? Pretty good. All right, pretty good. There we go. So Butsy, once again, hopefully will be here soon. I'm worried about his health right now. We're hoping for a Michael Jordan type flu game out of him. We'll see when he arrives, if he arrives. And then from there, I do want to give a shout out and a thank you to our show sponsor, Swanie's Golf, for always keeping me dressed in the freshest gear possible. Got the hat on, got the polo on. And one of the things that I really like about Swanie's, I'm not going to get naked here, but take a look. Folks, if you're listening on the podcast and you just have the audio, they've got the inner portion where the buttons go in your polo, where it's all just dolled up, man. You got flowers in here on mine that really make just like a plain teal shirt really pop, you know? I can't even get it back in there. Hang on a second. Let's get this back in there real quick. I don't want to go 2 buttons down tonight, not feeling like I am a 2-button down guy tonight, okay? But Swanie's, go to, this is crazy. My parents, they didn't even know about the Pull Hook Golf podcast promo code. My mom was so excited. Found some Swanie's at Marshall's, and she lost her mind. She bought them for my dad, bought one for herself, and she's just like, oh my God, we got, like 20% off of what it normally goes for. I'm like, Ma, do you know that Pull Hook Golf has 25% off if you use promo code Pull Hook Golf 25 at checkout? She's like, no, didn't know that. So now she knows. Now she's going to go straight to Swanie's, utilize the promo code PullHookGolf25 at checkout for 25% off the entire order, okay? Now, as we get into the Open Championship and recap this bad boy, which, truth be told, I'm going to say it, I think this was the best major championship of the year. Come at me. I don't mind you saying the Masters. The U.S. Open obviously was epic with the ending and everything around that. Come on in, Butsy. Been talking about you a lot so far. Come on in. I said there's a stomach bug going around. My dog had it the last 2 days.
It is not a stomach bug. It is a
burritos.
little.
Did Taco Tuesday get to you?
Little 4-year-old Thai kid peed in my soup.
Oh, you hate to see that.
It's a real story. I'm almost positive. Holy shit.
Wow. Okay,
We got
come
there.
on in. I got some whiskey tonight. Some Texas bourbon.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah. Wow, come on in.
Hey, man.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, been
Great.
better.
Great to see you, though. I said, I hope you come in like Michael Jordan for the flu game. So keep this a little bit further away. I got these mics jacked up tonight. So we need
we're good.
We need about a fist in between. Yeah.
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 Let's get a little.
Woo.
All right, where are we at?
Man, so I bought us some time. I'm literally just through the introduction, getting into the Open Championship recap after going over the fact that we're going to recap the Open Championship. We're going to recap the Barracuda. Yes, that did happen. We're going to recap a little bit of Bryson and Trump, and then we're going to talk about the 3M Open Swanie style segment, LIV Golf UK, and then the new professional putting league. But we did have, guess who came on earlier? Nathan Strand. Really excited about the professional putting league. That's our guy with the lab putter.
Yeah.
And he had the camo on, remember? Yeah.
He's been DMing me on Instagram, and he's very excited about this.
Very excited. He wants to know, when am I going to get that email? Did I miss it? He had to go back to work. He had to go back to work tonight.
He let me know the same.
So, yeah, he's jazzed up about it. I told him, I was like, hey, make sure that you are ready to go when this starts, because guess what? There's only 20 teams. So I went over some of the details. I went over the details for about 20 minutes. I didn't want to, but Nathan was on, really asking a lot of questions. So
that's okay.
I wanted to dial it in.
I wasn't here.
All right. So now let's talk a little bit about the Open Championship recap and get you right into the mode here on tonight's episode.
Absolutely.
We got Xander Schauffele. And I was saying, by the way, that I felt like this was the best major of the year. Plenty of storylines. I liked it better than even the U.S. Open, which you could argue the U.S. Open was better, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the ending to the U.S. Open was phenomenal. I get that. But I just loved what we got out of the Open Championship this year.
Yeah.
Butsy here. So,
yeah, Butsy here.
You know what's funny? I always thought that you said Ian Butsy here.
Ian?
I always thought that that's what you said. Ian Butsy here.
Yeah,
Butsy here. Okay.
You got to watch some of the old videos so you can pick up on
I got
all this shit that Kyle's spitting out of his ass over there.
A little closer to the mic.
Oh, now I'm too far.
About a fist. It looks weird when you do this, but about a fist away is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, you got a big fist too, so there we go.
All right, let's rock.
Let's rock. So Xander Schauffele wins by 2, folks, at 9 under par. By the way, if you've been watching this podcast, you will know that Xander Schauffele was my top 10 lock for the week. I said, bet the house on it, because Xander Schauffele is not finishing outside of the top 10. I was pretty adamant during the show. I was adamant in the recaps that I was doing on Twitter Spaces. I mean, Xander Schauffele, from day one, he just looked like a guy that was going to get the job. Not done necessarily, because the first 3 days.
Which is why you had him in the top 10.
Yeah.
You weren't saying the dub is his, but yeah.
First 3 days looked great in terms of just being solid, right?
Yeah.
Just didn't look like there were going to be any major mistakes coming from Xander Schauffele. So once again, that's why he was my lock for the top 10. Just been the most consistent player outside of Scotty Scheffler. And actually, he has been actually more consistent than Scotty Scheffler. And how scary is Xander Schauffele now that he's got a little bit of confidence?
Yeah. This is going to be the Xander era. We're witnessing the start of that, I think.
I do too.
I don't think he's going to slow down.
I don't either.
I really don't.
One quick segue here as we're talking about Xander Trump golfer. Will Butsy get a chance to use the bidet later? There's a chance.
I think I probably got to go back to Quick Trip and pay for the roll of Tums that I grabbed on the way in to the bathroom. I was so terrified that this was going to happen in my pants on the way here. And I sat in the handicap stall and I ate an entire pack of Tums trying to like shut this thing down, and it is shut down. So I don't think I'll be using the bidet.
All right, fair enough. He's
for
got
a couple days probably.
He's got it locked in there. He might get bloated locking it all in, but hopefully
shit a fucking igloo.
He might shit an igloo. You don't know. It's gonna be weird when it does all of a sudden come out. But Xander's calmness is terrifying.
Yeah.
So going back at least like a year ago, I would say, Bobby Brown knows him really well, right? So Bobby Brown, caddy,
your guy.
PGA Tour caddy, was on the show for a long time. Was the co-host before Botsy. He literally grew up in San Diego guy, knew Xander well on tour, knew Patrick Cantlay well. Those are his San Diego boys, right?
That's his
but
boys.
We couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with Xander, because normally if you're struggling to close out golf tournaments and so forth, there's usually something glaring that it's like, wow,
You struggle with this.
your putting sucks. Like Scotty
yeah.
Scheffler is very straightforward. It's like his putting is terrible.
Yeah.
Still is, as we saw at the Open Championship.
Good for a few weeks there.
Good for a few weeks. He gets it hot. I'll get into why his putting was rough at the Open Championship, because
You have a theory.
those type of greens rely more on your stroke than playing on fast greens, and we'll get more into that.
You really think so?
I do, yeah.
Okay. Well, I thought Tiger was going to win, so you're probably right. Anyways.
But his calmness, Xander, that is, all of a sudden, I see what was off with Xander Schauffele. His confidence is through the roof right now. He doesn't even acknowledge it. Like when they ask him, like even before the Open Championship, they're like in media days and so forth.
Yeah.
They're asking Xander, hey, how is it different now that you've won a major championship? Is your confidence just through the roof? And he just sat there and was like, it's great that I won the PGA Championship, but like now I'm focused on this week and focused on what I need to do.
Yeah.
Now that is an answer from somebody that is feeling fucking confident.
Yeah.
Not sitting there going, yeah, I'm feeling confident, and trying to convince themselves that they're confident.
They are confident. Yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
So for him, and we saw it on the back nine, right? He played a very solid front nine. I believe he was 3 under on the front nine, if I'm not mistaken. No, 2 under on the front nine. Then goes out. Am I off on this? Hang on a second. Because, gosh, I'm trying to think. Here's the leaderboard for the Open. Let me just make sure that I'm not talking out of my ass here. Yeah. So he was 2 under on the front nine, and then ends up going and just dominating on the back nine. And he said, he's like, it was weird. I really had a calmness to me. And even his caddy was asking him, like, dude, you seem so calm.
You're chill.
Like, his caddy was losing his shit.
Yeah.
But he's just sitting there and just calm as shit. And that is scary, because Xander Schauffele, when he gets into it, we noticed it on Sunday at the PGA Championship. The guy did not miss golf shots.
No.
Like, just was hitting every fairway, every green, and he was doing it again at the Open Championship. He just looked like he could not miss.
We saw him on 18 when he's like waiting for the caddy to catch up to him, right? And
Yeah.
he turned around, and I'm just looking at the body language, just very casually.
Yeah.
Like, hey, come on.
And then he
Let's
said
do this together.
he was watching the scoreboard.
Yeah.
He's like, I've learned just to embrace it. That like I've gone through tournaments where I haven't looked at the scoreboard, and it hasn't really helped me. So I figured, why not? Let me look at the scoreboard.
Fuck it.
And he just
do it.
He just knew where he was at with his game and everything, and that's pretty cool to see. But Xander Schauffele has always kind of felt like a robot to me, and this is the first time to where I'm like, holy shit! If this is the new Xander Schauffele, he's gonna win a lot of golf tournaments.
Yeah. How old is he? 30?
I think so.
Something like that?
Something like that.
You should know that stat.
I know. We really should.
You're
I don't
a
know.
statistician.
I feel like he's like 30, like 29, 30 maybe.
Trot, how old is he?
Let's see. Trot, how old is Xander Schauffele? Go ahead and help us out there. Good old Kyle says that Tiger still has a chance on the weekend. We're going to get into Tiger because Tiger's actually one of my first topics within this. But Billy Horschel, Justin Rose, oh, and actually, sorry, I just clicked that one. Kyle from Cart Barn Guys, how about Trump sucking down Diet Cokes out of a glass bottle on the course?
Where
Classy
do you get
move.
Diet Coke in a glass bottle? I want to know.
You have to be rich.
Yeah.
You have to be rich. It's not like the Mexican colas because they don't have...
I've never seen a glass Diet Coke.
Not a Diet Coke.
No.
The Mexican colas, I get them all the time here in Arizona. They're absolutely fantastic. Got the original, what is it, the cane sugar?
Yeah.
Just absolutely fantastic
Yeah, it's
stuff.
a great soda.
If you're going to drink a soda, you might as well go full body on that bad boy. So, Trot Golfer says 30. Wow, we were right there. How about that?
As he always smokes cigars. He's got this coolness about him now, right? Like
There is.
he wins, he's smoking the stogie, he looks chill as fuck, like just not a care in the world.
You know what felt
Looks like he's enjoying himself.
weird to me about what you're talking about with kind of this coolness to Xander and everything?
He's cool.
Is that the media is like, yeah, he's not really. I was watching Chambly and what's his face, McGinley, afterwards, the next day, Monday. And they're talking about him not being a media darling and not being this cool guy and everything, that he's really not, a big personality. I'm like, I kind of think he is. I don't know. What do you guys think with Xander? I mean, he's done
a
the
vibe, dude.
Yeah.
He doesn't maybe say a lot vocally, but his presence, like he's cool as fuck. Like it's just cool.
I agree with you on that.
He's got a vibe.
He definitely has a vibe to him. But I will say that outside of Xander Schauffele winning, the other two good storylines were Billy Horschel and Justin Rose. More so Justin Rose, but Billy Horschel, you kind of got to fall in love with Billy a little bit, where he's out there on Saturday and he's got the backwards hat on. He took off his rain jacket and he's just out there in a polo getting soaked. And it's cold out, and he's just embracing the moment. He was happy, and he got up and down from everywhere on Saturday.
You think you'd like Billy in real life? I've always kind of been on the fence of whether or not, like, okay, this guy would be cool, like, to hang out with.
I don't know.
Not that matters, but I'm always just kind of not sure.
Well, I know his caddy, right? So
you know him.
I know that he's very authentic, and that was actually something that came up on Twitter today.
What's that?
This PCG guy, this fat dude over, I don't know where he's located, but he's big LIV Golf guy. He goes by a critic of whatever, but he came out and now he's gone full, in the movie Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
You never go full. He's gone full.
You're not
right?
saying the word.
Yeah, you can't say the word now, but until we get a new. So, yeah, that thing, Reynard. So
That's funny. That's funny.
the goddamn, you got me. It happens every once in a while. That is sinister out of you. So good old Billy Horschel. Yeah. So this guy, anyways, takes a shot at Billy Horschel. He's been taking a lot of shots. Billy responded finally to this guy
on Twitter.
Ooh. So Billy was just like, hey. You can like shit on me all you want, but one thing that you're not going to say about me is that I'm fake and inauthentic. He's like, I don't think you will find a single person out here that is going to say that I'm inauthentic or fake. And I can say, hands down, I've heard it from enough people that he is who he is, does not care what you think, and is very authentic.
I could probably see that, and that's what I'm saying. I'm on the fence about. I see who I think he might, like who he is, and I don't know if that guy's a prick that I'd want to hang out with.
Yeah.
No matter how authentic he is, or I don't know. I don't know.
So to people that he's cool with, I've heard he is an awesome guy. Super generous, super nice, but it's the one-off scenarios, right? He's got a temper.
I feel like he's super serious a lot.
Frustrated with fans and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's one thing at the Open that we really saw differently is that he definitely embrace the crowd and embrace the environment and everything going on. Like, he didn't let the weather get to him, because that Saturday was shit weather. I mean, when these guys are going driver and not being able to reach par 4 greens, that is awesome.
Is that when he said it was Scheffler said it's the toughest back nine he's like ever played? Is that what they're saying?
I can't.
You cannot repeat that. I saw the comment.
I can't repeat that.
Yeah, you can't, yeah.
So yeah, great stuff. Great stuff out of Billy. Justin Rose, though, was the one that I was rooting for, because I'm like, man, he qualified to get
That's
into
right.
the Open Championship, and for him to almost win it, just sick. Really was awesome out of Justin Rose. And being a UK guy and everything, I feel like the fans were behind him.
You were right, though, last week when you said that Royal Troon and the mix of guys that were in the hunt were just like, huh? Haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
we had Shane Lowry's collapse, which first couple days I'm sitting there going, we just looked right past Shane Lowry. He's been playing great leading up to this tournament. Actually, like, the first 2 days look like,
we didn't say his name, did we?
He's going to absolutely dominate the rest of this week and take this easily. Well, that is, but never get an Irish guy to a party where there's drinking.
Did he actually go out and party?
So
Is that the story? I mean,
well, we didn't know. Nobody ran with it, right?
Yeah.
Nobody said,
Ah.
Shane Lowry went out. But before that happened, they did mention it during the broadcast that it's his dad's birthday. His entire family is here on Friday night, and hopefully he doesn't throw back too many Guinnesses. I believe that was the exact words out of Mike Tirico. Okay. Well, Shane Lowry in round 3 looked ornery. And this is what gives me the impression
What a great
that
word.
he had too many Guinnesses, because
he looked a little sideways.
he looked like he was frustrated and got frustrated easy. And
Hangover will do that to you.
Yes, exactly.
Is
Like,
that what you're
normally
getting
you're
at?
not going to be yourself. And all of a sudden you got to deal with those rainy conditions all day long. And he kept it together on the front nine pretty damn well. But then when he hit that official, and the official actually saved his ball from going in a gorse bush, and he's thinking that, like, that would have kept going down the fairway. No, Shane, that ball was kind of like top.
You think it was an
hook.
endurance thing? Like, he's fat too, and then like you got maybe it's tinge of hangover, and he's just I don't know.
I don't think that's it. But
It's 'cause
I
he's fat.
I do think it was the hangover. I have a feeling he went out and had too many Guinnesses and just thought, like, I'm in cruise control, baby. I am absolutely killing it out here, and nothing is going to stop me. Well, guess what? Guinness will. Guinness will stop you. Whiskey will stop you. Everything that you had going, because the next day, even after these podcast episodes where I drink a glass of whiskey, I'm a little ornery the next day. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm a little bit grumpy, so I feel like he had a little bit of whiskey that went along with that. Maybe a car bomb.
What are you gonna do with when the PPL starts, dude? We're gonna have Tuesday night, and then we're gonna
And
have
then Thursday night.
and then we're
I
gonna have
know.
the party. That's gonna be
No.
a fucking party.
I'm gonna
every
have to
Thursday.
stop drinking on the Tuesday night lives, and
that's-
we're gonna have to go hard on the putting world.
And then
you know?
Thursday, and then you got Friday, and you're like, not a big deal.
Yeah. Trot Golfer does mention that putting world does not serve Guinness, which that's disappointing, because when I lived in New York City, that is all I drank was
I
Guinness
fucking
and whiskey.
hate that shit.
I love Guinness because it's nitrogen. It coats your stomach well. Great stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's one of the healthiest beers for you as well.
Yeah, you get some good. It's good for your microbiome,
Yeah.
your gut biome.
Whatever. Yes. It's got natural probiotics in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
I feel like we lost some of the audio. Am I wrong?
I don't. Not over here.
Oh, yeah, we did. Because I was up to 45.
Oh, maybe I'm just
It
deaf.
dropped
And I just
down.
don't even know the difference.
It's all right.
possible.
We got this going. We're good. Yeah, Trot Golfer's with me. Loves the Guinness. Me too. Love the Guinness. Now, getting back to the Open Championship, as we have our little break-offs to our segments and getting into talk around Guinness and so forth. Shane Lowry, to me, I think he had a little bit too much. How about Daniel Brown, the journeyman, who nobody had ever heard of? Even myself, I'm sitting there going, Daniel Brown, he made a great movie. And or wrote a great book. I
You're
don't
gonna
remember.
have to fill me in on
Da
Daniel
Vinci
Brown.
Code. Daniel Brown.
Is that the writer?
Yeah. Yeah.
That
So
movie freaked me out. I became like a weirdo after that.
yeah, didn't know if it was the writer or not, but this guy's a journeyman over on the DP World Tour. Hasn't really done much over on the DP World Tour. So he was really, and what was cool about him is that he was smoking these cigs. Okay.
Oh yeah, he's the guy that took the selfie
Yeah.
with the fans.
And his parents know, but he doesn't like, he's got a thing about smoking cigarettes because he really only does it on the golf course.
Yeah.
So he doesn't want people to like actively see him. So he was hiding it all the time. Yeah. Taking a few puffs, then putting it down. And then he took that selfie with the boys and everything. But the guy just looked unfazed. And I was saying it on Saturday. I'm like, he double bogeyed the last hole to not be in the final group. And I'm like, man, this could have been the best thing that ever happened to this guy because you're not going to get the pressure of sleeping on a lead, being in the final group at an open championship. But he kind of shit the bed on Sunday anyways.
well.
I mean, the pressure is going to get to you at some point.
Yeah.
And it certainly did him. And then the last guy that I'll mention is this Tristan Lawrence. Now, at the end of last year, was watching a lot of DP World Tour golf, okay?
Yeah.
And this guy actually won one of the tournaments. I think it was like the South African Open. This guy is actually really freaking good. 29 years old.
Okay.
So when he was up there towards the top, I'm like, I don't think this guy's going away. I think this guy's going to play really well on Sunday and be. I was actually thinking he might win. Well, he shot 3 under Sunday.
Pretty solid.
Pretty freaking solid. And not to mention, by the way, the Billy Horschel, he shot 3 under. Justin Rose shot 4 under. I mean, everybody played so good in bad conditions, even on Sunday. Everybody was trying to win it. And that's what, to me, made Xander Schauffele's win so impressive and why, to me, this was the best major of the year, in my opinion.
I would have to agree with that. I try to disagree with you as much as possible, but
Yeah, I get it.
I have to agree.
I'm a
with
very
that.
disagreeable person.
Nobody, nobody gave it to him. He fought his ass off and he beat everybody. Like he actually beat everybody.
Yeah.
Like bad. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And yes, I do love tournaments that come down to the final hole and everything, but I also love watching greatness. And that was this one, watching greatness from a guy like Xander Schauffele who has figured it out. I don't know how long this confidence wave is going to last. I hope it lasts a long time for Xander Schauffele.
It might just be what his 30s are going to be about, you know.
I hope so.
Like he's finally, you know, the
He's
breakthrough
finally there.
happened and now he's there mentally and knows how to do it.
Because it wasn't like he wasn't somebody who had won on the PGA Tour before. He had just gotten into this like slump to where, for whatever reason, he couldn't close out golf tournaments. And you and I talked about it quite a bit up until his PGA Championship win, that he wasn't being aggressive enough. Like, was just kind of coasting in that final round thinking, okay, if I just hang in there, I'm going to win. That's not the case. Especially, like, remember the Wells Fargo, or was it the Wells Fargo? No, the Wyndham Championship.
Just waiting.
He was just waiting around, plotting around, hitting centers of the green. And I'll tell you what, PGA Championship, that Sunday, he went after every flag stick, and he ended up winning, right? I think he figured out, hey, I'm good enough to really go after pins.
Yeah, I'm better than these guys. I'm going to put the gas down. Like,
So
yeah,
that
very
was pretty cool to see from him. Now, with that said, there are some guys we got to talk about and their performance at the Open Championship.
We have to.
Tiger's performance, because obviously you picked him.
I'm going to pick him every time because I know, and I still stand by this. He's got one left. It's going to happen once.
So I did a full breakdown on this on X, and I was surprised by some of the people, like Terrence Daniels, who I played college golf with, and he's on there, who a lot of people feel like Tiger's done.
I know they do.
But
yeah, and it's understandable. But
it is understandable because when he couldn't sit down after his back fusions, and it was like a year after he was supposed to be healed and everything, I forget the exact date, but I was at a poker event, and Tiger
Yeah, you
was
were.
there, and sure enough, Tiger couldn't even like sit down in his chair. He was like gingerly like getting down into it because his back was so bad. And I said it at that time. I was like, granted, didn't have the show and so forth, but I'm like, man, Tiger Woods is done. done. And I was wrong because in 2019, he ends up winning the Masters.
And that's kind of where I'm at on the deal. I think that there's going to be one more last hoorah, and you just have to wait for it to happen.
Well, I told you on last week's show, Tiger Woods to me is not where he wants to be in order to compete for a major championship right now.
Yeah.
But he's not somebody who looks, I've realized this with Tiger, he's not somebody that looks very short term. He looks at the longer term. So he's working towards something a year down the road.
Right.
And that to me is very telling because his fusion between his leg and his ankle has relieved all of the pain that was in his foot.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's healthy technically.
Yeah, no
And
pain.
He's able to get in the gym more. He's going to practice more. And you know what else a couple weeks back that was announced? Remember when we were talking about on the podcast around the Signature Series events and how the Player Advisory Council was going to vote Tiger into those and give him a lifetime exemption into Signature Series events? Guess what? That happened. So now heading into 2025, Tiger's going to be playing in those Signature Series events, which are going to be his prep and it really is preparation heading into major championships. So it's not, I don't think it's possible, by the way, to just practice and then all of a sudden go into a major championship without having that tournament adrenaline and experience.
No, you got
to compete in a major.
And he never has. Like he's always put a few reps in. And like you said, it's like, all right, we should be ready to rock by about this time next year. Like it's that kind of a look.
I think so.
Did you watch any like post-round press of the Open? I mean, what did he say? Do we know? Or was it just typical Tiger? Hell no, we're getting closer.
You know what's funny? I did not hear anything about Tiger and didn't see. I don't think he did. Yeah. I could be mistaken, but I don't think Tiger did. And also with Tiger, by the way, he actually, to show you how good he's feeling in regards to the leg, he was at Charlie's USGA amateur deal.
Took the sleeve off.
The sleeve was not on. He allowed the scars to be seen and everything there. So obviously he's feeling better.
I saw that, though. I thought it was somebody doing a handstand at first. I'm not going to lie. Something looked fucked up.
It's usually what you see after a shark attack.
It's like, damn, what's wrong with that person's elbow? Never mind. That's Tiger's fucking leg.
That's Tiger's leg. It's not looking great, but it's looking, actually, it looks better than I thought it would look. Let's put it that way. Yeah. I thought it was janked up.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of that meat's gone back there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean.
Well, before he could start working it out and stuff, it was just like a stick.
Yeah. So he's been wearing the sleeve to like
cover it
until he feels mentally okay with like,
exactly.
All right, here's where we're at.
And now he's there. So I have a feeling next year, this whole off season now, he's going to be in the gym. He's going to be practicing. Then from there, heading into next year, he's going to be playing in the Signature Series events, leading into major championships because his golf swing did not look bad. This is my biggest argument to Tiger Woods still having it in him to play really well is that his golf swing looked great. Yeah. And that first couple holes at the Open Championship opening round, I was losing my fucking mind. He looked so good, made a simple par on the first, then drops this 30-foot curling birdie putt on the second. I did a fist pump. I woke up the dog. It was like 6 a.m. in the morning. I think the neighbors were like, what the hell is going on across the way?
Yeah.
It was absolutely nuts. And I was just like, this is the coolest freaking thing because nobody brings that kind of excitement like Tiger Woods does. And that's why we all still sit there and we hope and we pray that Tiger Woods is not done and we get one more run out of Tiger.
He is physically capable of hitting the golf shots. Still.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I'm still in on the deal. I looked at his ball speed numbers, like all that, and it's still there. Like, yeah, I mean, he's still hitting it like 320.
You know what was the most impressive thing, though, in watching him is that normally Tiger Woods, if he would make a bogey, he had the top bounce back stat, which that goes to how good you are mentally, but also how tight your game is, right? For him, he birdied that hole and then follows it up with a bogey and then a double bogey, which tells me that he was dealing with adrenaline issues to where all of a sudden, when you have a birdie
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you have the post birdie fuck up,
Oh yeah.
PBFU.
Mm-hmm.
And that PBFU is all because you're adrenaline. You're so pumped up, and all of a sudden you don't know how to handle that next hole, even when you like calm yourself down and everything.
Get a little shaky.
But that is tournament reps when you're in that moment, and that's what it told
you are
me.
right about that.
That he has not had that experience to where he's like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. I am all of a sudden 1 under at the Open Championship. I started really well, and now all of a sudden it's like,
Get some bone here.
God, next shot,
Yeah.
shit, oh shit. And all of a sudden you get out of your rhythm and out of your flow, and it's like, we've talked about flow state on this podcast
It's like
quite
Days
a bit.
of Thunder, when they
Yeah.
wreck the cars and they can't quite get back on
Tom Cruise.
can't quite get back in there, and later parodied by Ricky Bobby, but
I'll love that movie too.
same
Yeah.
kind of deal,
Yeah.
right? And we're not quite there. I don't know though. Like you said, he won the fucking Masters.
But if he gets the reps in, that's the thing. When 2019, he was playing a lot of golf.
Yeah.
2018, 2019, in that era, or in that time frame, he was playing more golf.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, he's just playing major championships. So, and then Drop Golfer. I'm glad you brought this up because this was not in my show notes. Did you catch the English announcer on the featured groups that I think he was being genuine? Here's the thing. I don't think he was being a dick or trying to like stir up anything. He goes, "Oh, look at Tiger Woods' eyes. It looks like he's on a lot of painkillers. He's in a lot of pain, folks."
But
in an English accent. And everybody ran with the fact that he's like, "Look at his eyes. He's on a lot of painkillers."
I mean,
and granted, Tiger has a past with pills, so
yeah, and then he probably needs something to feel good. I mean, is that legal? Like, they're not drug testing Tiger, right?
they're not drug testing at all right now.
That's the thing. We talked about that, right? Yeah, they're not. Man. I mean, can we see a clip of his? This is where we need somebody to be like,
I know.
Cue up his eyes.
So-
Let me see his eyes. Yeah, they look fucking glassy. Like,
Pole Hook Golf 4.0 or 2.0, whatever you want to call it. When we have a TV up and a producer in here and they bring up the clip and we're like, "Hey, buddy, pull up the clip.
let's see a clip of Tiger. What's
Let's
he
see a
talking
clip
about?
of Tiger, okay?" And then you got the banners down at the bottom that are like running with like whatever commentary that we just mentioned with like the headlines of like a CNN or a Fox News or whatever. So, yeah. And then we've got a very interesting comment here. Good old Camden Reyes.
Who's that?
God bless. Jesus loves you. SM. Go Charlie. Love that. Okay. I don't know. What's SM? Is that like a social media thing, SM?
I don't know.
Like I learned like not that long ago what SMH was. Shake my head. But
So much. Loves you so much.
There we go. Love that out of you. See, that's what I got to rely on from you to let me know what the hell.
I mean, it's not
common
a social
sense.
media thing. It just common sense. So here's exactly. You look at the eyes. You got to think there's a lot of painkillers being taken to cope with the pain.
Yeah.
Said the former European Tour pro who was disqualified from the 2003 Open for signing an incorrect scorecard.
I love how they add that to like
To
the
discredit
poor guy.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy didn't mean it as what it was taken as, and that was my only thing with it. Like I heard it, I saw it, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't really like. I didn't buy that much into it. Then I'm on Twitter, and Twitter's just going nuts with this. Everybody is like taking screenshots and
I'm
writing
looking at
down.
it right. Yeah, golf fans slam.
Oh, they
Open
slammed the guy.
Championship announcer for crazy Tiger Woods commentary.
Crazy. But like that's what you get on this podcast, and that's what Trot Golfer actually on Twitter mentioned that he's like, "Pole Hook Golf, this is what we get with you." Like absolutely, like we bring the unfiltered aspect to golf. Like I don't think that that's a problem that guy mentioned that Tiger's eyes were swollen, like they were.
It's just what
It
he
is
thought.
what it is.
Yeah, maybe you think that about a guy. Like, given common deduction would say that that's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Blow the mic.
Let's move on. I don't think so. I think we're good. Let's move on to Scotty Scheffler's performance. Okay. Scotty Scheffler. 1 under, even par. I think, did he finish at even par?
That little fucking 3-wood he hit into 18, though, dude. Not little. I mean, it was a full one, but yeah, he hits like 1.5 feet. That was crazy.
Hang on. For some reason, I'm like losing my mind. Yeah, he shot one over. He shot one over on Sunday for an even par round. Ends up finishing, or shoots 1 under for the tournament. Sorry.
Not terrible.
T7, right? But you know what's crazy about Scotty Scheffler is his putting was terrible.
Yeah.
Yet again. The weakness showed, and you want to know why Scotty Scheffler was exposed on Open Championship greens. What are Open Championship greens known for? Are they meant to be fast or slow? Usually slow, right?
Yeah, grainy.
Yeah.
Slow.
Grainy and
crabby.
slow. They were running at like an 11 the first day, but then it rained, right? Yeah. And he was okay that first day, okay the second day. But with the rain, it slowed up.
A little more. I see what you mean.
Guess what?
A little more hit involved.
You got more hit involved, and that will expose a bad putting
all you
stroke.
got to do is go toot toot.
Yeah.
Like,
If you're going nice, slow, back and through in order to make some putts, on very fast greens like they do on the PGA Tour, then normally you're going to get away with that. But Scotty Scheffler did not, and you could tell that because the putter wasn't going, he, especially Sunday, he put more and more pressure on his golf swing. And that's the fault that we've seen from Scotty Scheffler, that all of a sudden he tries to like hole everything.
Yeah.
Because he knows I'm not going to make it with the flat stick.
It's hilarious that that we say it's a fault, and I know it is, but it's a fault that causes him not to win. Like, Not like he played bad.
Top 10.
Yeah, he's still fucking, I mean, God, like, yeah.
Yeah, then we got to get into so that's it for Scotty Scheffler, okay? Guy just can't putt sometimes.
Bye, Scotty.
Yeah, bye, Scotty. You did well enough.
We got to figure out the putter. The putting quest continues.
Putting quest continues. Rory McIlroy's performance. What went wrong with Rory? Oh, dear Lord.
Dude, that like little chip wedge that he tried to hit that ended up 25 yards left into I was like, dude, that's something I would do. Like, and of course, fingering your belly button saying you could do it better on the couch is a tough look, but yeah, a lot of really bad shots from Rory. Like, really
I don't know why I had a visual of you eating peanut butter with your finger.
Well, that's it.
That's
That's what you're going for.
Yeah, that's it.
Man,
Wow.
Take a second. You licked your lips. That was weird.
Just like whenever you burp, I'm like sniffing over here, like trying to get a smell, but like I don't want to smell it. That's the weird thing. It's just natural to like when somebody does something like that, you get weird about it. Now, Rory McIlroy had a tough first day. Okay?
Yeah.
Tough first day, did not have it, but I felt like there was some quit in Rory McIlroy on the second day.
I didn't see the second day.
Second day, he just didn't look like he really wanted to be there. Like, I don't know. There was a sense to me that Rory McIlroy let his mental game just go because
he's a little bitch.
He could have fought back. That's the thing. He could have fought back on Friday's round.
Yeah.
Friday's round, I don't know how the mic didn't go out on that one.
I pulled it in.
Yeah, I got
Spoke
you.
from
Nice.
the throat.
Love that. Now, with that said, do you think he is still fragile with his mental game after the U.S. Open?
I think he's been a bitch all year. Okay.
I had lunch with a buddy today, and he mentioned the same thing as you, that he's like, you know what's funny? He goes, up until like a few weeks before the PGA Championship, everybody hated Bryson DeChambeau. Everybody in his golf group, in the chat, everything. And then he's like, you know what's weird? Everything just flipped. He's like, but you know who's taking his place as a bitch? He's like, Rory McIlroy.
Oh, the bitch of the world.
He goes, we all hate Rory McIlroy.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's interesting, man.
No, I'm the poster boy of the PGA Tour and fuck LIV and all this blah blah blah. And now I almost proved myself even further, and then I went back on what I said, and then I shit on myself. And now I'm trying to get over all of it, and it ain't gonna happen for a while.
That was a little mix of Valley Girl and a tiny Irish accent.
But you get the point.
I get the point.
There's a lot going on with Rory.
There is a lot. I mean, the guy was about to have a divorce. It got announced. He starts dating Amanda Balionis. All of a sudden, the wife comes back into the picture. They call the divorce off. I mean,
Rory got into politics.
the guy is he's been going through some stuff. I mean, he got ramrodded by the PGA Tour, becoming the face.
That's what I'm saying.
Of that
He
whole
got
battle.
involved in all that. He should have just kept doing what he was doing and just chilled.
Stay in your lane, Rory.
Why do you feel like, who appointed you, and why are you taking or accepting that position? You look like the teacher's pet. Like, that's the syndrome. You got teacher's pet syndrome. You look like you're a brown noser. Nobody respects you anymore. And then you shit down your leg and miss that little putt. And that's probably what's going through his head on some level. I don't know. I don't know him, but it's going to be a while.
I haven't even read this comment yet because I just saw at the very end it says he's a bitch. But I think I know what it's about. So Trot Golfer says you can't be a man when you go for the divorce, then bang the in-course reporter, then go back to your wife. He's a bitch. Okay, I that was exactly what I thought you were saying when I just read the very end.
Well said.
Very well said. Somebody on YouTube Shorts, you know that video that went viral of us? We got over like 100,000 views on multiple platforms for the him and Amanda Balionis. When we were at Trevor's, and I was totally fucking around, and I'm just like, yeah, some kid heard after that hug when Rory hugged Amanda that, you want to get some Netflix or some Domino's and Netflix and chill.
Oh, yeah,
later,
because
right?
it's Domino. Yeah. That went viral?
So we had over 125,000 views on Instagram. We had another bunch on TikTok, and then YouTube Shorts had a ton.
Son of a bitch.
It's still going, by the way. They're still promoting it to a degree.
Sorry.
Jesus. I thought something was going to come out.
Gumming up the wrong tubes.
So this guy, clearly somebody from either the UK, Ireland, or Scotland, commented, felt the need to comment and go, "This is a bunch of rubbish."
Rubbish is a great word.
That definitely blew it out.
Sorry.
There we go. We're back
Blowing
up.
the mic
We're
out.
back up. So that was funny. I really enjoyed that.
That is
because
good.
I'm just like, yeah, it is rubbish what I said, but I wasn't wrong. Like, he was banging Amanda Balionis. Like, everybody knows it. So it is what it is. John Rahm's performance. You said, but by the way, you're like top 10. So you were the guy that called his top 10 this week.
Yeah.
I was actually the one that was like, top 20. I'll give him a top 20 because while he might have found something in his driver, I'm like, I just don't see him being at the top of his game. He had a great Sunday.
You just got to give John Rahm some major championship fuel to get him.
You do.
know,
He's got to get locked back in.
Exactly. Pour a little kerosene on his game and get him wanting to, it's a chance to prove yourself. I mean, I'm sure you can't hide forever. He's heard the rumors.
Well, he knows
by
what's
now.
going on. You know what I mean? He's been in enough media days. He's been asked the question as to his mediocre year so far.
Right.
And how that's all driven because he joined LIV Golf and this and that. So he knows what the rhetoric is that is out there in the media. And Rahm just needs to get locked in and needs that moment that gets him back into a serious mental flow state. And he even talked about how granted, he didn't say mentally flow state, but he's like getting into the flow with his golf swing and having confidence there. And that's what he's talking about, by the way. When he's talking about that, he's talking about getting into a flow state and not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Well, this might be the moment that John Rahm needed because Thursday he did not look good. He did not hit the ball well and yet shot only one over.
Getting into a toe state.
Or actually, hang on, he shot 2 over on Thursday, which, believe it or not, 2 over, that was a great golf round for him, the way that he hit the golf ball.
Yeah.
Then Friday shoots 1 under. Start to see a little something from John. Saturday, in those brutal conditions, shoots 1 over. Okay. Still played solid. Then he got off to a hot start. I mean, how many under was he? Let's see. How many under was John Rahm? Let's just pull up his
Trot, I second that comment. I
scorecard.
think you're right. I mean, he just needs more.
He needs beyond live,
More,
right?
more fire to feel. Yeah.
because he accepted so much money. We see it with players in other major sports that when all of a sudden they get that huge contract,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they fall off the face of the planet. That's not what's happened with him, but he was 4 under on that front 9. 4 under on the front 9.
Look at that.
And then ended up shooting 1 over on the back to finish 3 under on Sunday. So I've got a feeling this could lead to John Rahm having a great rest of the year on LIV Golf.
Resurge.
I think it will. I think that's the motivation. Brought back some confidence in him. I feel like that he can play in those tough conditions. So watch out for him come LIV Golf UK, which we'll get to here in just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau's performance, or lack thereof.
You called it.
Bryson, to me, his entire game has been built for American golf, and I've had an internal debate with myself to where I'm like, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Like, is that a knock on him, or is that like somebody who's an expert at one thing? Like, if you're
one thing,
if you're in the NFL, you're Pat McAfee, let's say, and you're a kicker, you're a punter, you're skilled in one aspect. Let's say you're the best punter ever, but are you going to be able to rush for 1,000 yards? No. Does that mean you were a shitty golf or a shitty football player?
I just think he's chased, like, especially with all the, the mad scientist stuff and all that. Like, he's just chased efficiency down one hallway, and it's like this way, and the ball flies like this, and this is ideal, and we're trying to get as close to perfect doing it one way. You set him up, and he has to hit a curveball 5 feet high into the wind. Like, I'm not saying he can't do it, but he's not playing that kind of golf.
And he's very rigid, right? So he's very mathematical, very scientific in
Right,
terms
that's what
of
I'm saying.
how he goes about his game, where Open Championship golf, especially international golf more so, even beyond, like, links is the epitome of artistry in golf, where you have to feel shots. You have to be an artist out there. You can't just bomb the ball straight with a little draw and then try to hit the green as close to the pin as possible and then make a putt.
Right.
And then if you get off the green, you got a little chip that you need to hit.
It's one-dimensional. Like that,
It is one-dimensional. So that's, to me, is Bryson DeChambeau's game, and that's going to be his downfall in his career. But, like, that is his peak that he needs to achieve, is to surpass that. So you know how every great golfer has something they need to overcome in their career, or else
What would you
they
tell him
just
to
don't
do?
have the challenge. I would tell him to play in more events over in Scotland, Ireland, and so forth, and get himself prepared. Billy Horschel said this. He's been playing in the Dunhill Cup each year, and he goes, that has helped me prepare the best for Open Championship golf, because there's always weather. It is Open Championship style golf.
Yeah.
And he's like, that has prepared me over the years to play in this. And granted, they can play in DP World Tour events. So I wonder if that's going to be an option for Bryson DeChambeau moving forward.
Yeah, what a great, just weather alone, right?
Yeah.
Like, trying to make a golf ball do what you want when your swing feels like shit because it's cold and rainy or windy.
Well, he brought that up on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
His complaint was, I had an equipment malfunction. No, he didn't. He wasn't used to his equipment in those conditions.
Right.
And he said because it was so cold that his clubs weren't reacting properly to what he normally expects. They normally need to at least have a ball speed of 185.
Yeah.
In order to perform
Otherwise, hitting
properly.
fucking knuckle
And
pucks.
he was getting less than that. And so guess what? His equipment wasn't acting properly. So he's learning, right? But I think that is his pinnacle. If he wants to be known as one of the top golfers of all time,
Yeah.
he needs to overcome and be able to go over to an Open Championship and be competitive and win an Open Championship, in my opinion.
Yeah. And make the clubs work. Like, do what you got to do, or not have clubs, not have your game rely so closely to perfect.
Yeah.
When it comes to equipment. I mean, I'm pretty sure, Tiger in his heyday can go out and win a golf tournament with a rental set. I will say that.
Yeah, same.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Bryson ain't doing that.
No. Now, Bryson, I think we can agree that his
Not
game,
hating.
his game was really built for American golf, not international golf, which begs the question, would he be someone you would want on an international Ryder Cup? or at an International Ryder Cup,
No.
right?
No.
I feel like if I'm a captain of a team, now granted, 2025 is going to be at Bethpage. It is a perfect setup for Bryson DeChambeau. Love Bryson DeChambeau to be on the team at Bethpage. Beyond that, when it comes back over into international soil, no.
Not based, I mean, not if you're going off any sort of stats to make a decision. Like, no.
No.
How would you get to yes?
You would have to sit there and go and look at his recent international tournaments, and he would have to be playing really well.
Yeah.
He'd have to have several top tens and being able to show that his game has evolved beyond just grip it, rip it, hit it as close as I can, and be very mechanical in doing so.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and Trot, I'm not against you here on this one. He says, I think Bryson can mess with a lot of players in match play and get in their head. I don't disagree with you from a standpoint that he can bomb the ball, but I think that's to his detriment in performance-wise when it comes to these. So I don't like him on international soil. And until he proves me wrong, it's like the Xander thing. I was always, before the PGA Championship, I was going to keep saying that he's got a problem closing out golf tournaments. Then he proved me wrong.
You might even be able to look at poor performances by him on American soil. You might even pin it down to, I don't like him with any weather.
Interesting.
Maybe, you could maybe say that. Like, maybe he just plays like shit if it's not perfect outside and conditions aren't ideal.
And I'm one of these guys that I've become a Bryson fan. I like Bryson.
Big time.
Yeah.
Not
I
hating.
root for him. I was rooting for him at the Open Championship, even though he struggled, and I kind of expected that to happen. Now, some notables from the Open Championship. Colin Morikawa was on the wrong side of the weather. We were there, man. We were trying to pull for Colin Morikawa, but Colin's had a tough time this year putting together 4 rounds.
Yeah.
There's always one round that stands out that it's like, gosh, if he had just played good in one more round, he would have won all these tournaments this year. Mm-hmm. And what was interesting is I kind of saw it in his interview. They interviewed him on the putting green on Wednesday, I believe.
What did he say?
Before the tournament. And he was talking about how he hasn't been able to close out golf tournaments because there's always kind of been a round that he has struggled with in these tournaments. And it's been frustrating for him that he's been playing so well and hasn't won one of these.
So it's not,
and he's like, that's a disappointment.
But it's not a Xander issue. It's not a closing thing, right? Like,
no, it's just one round that he
making 4 rounds happen. It's just a shit round, right? So it's a Thursday or it's a Saturday. It's not losing on Sunday.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not. I mean, he plays really good under pressure for the most part. We've seen times to where he has fumbled. There was an event in Hawaii going back 2 years ago. Well, it would be 2 years ago in January. And he totally choked it in and lost the golf tournament. He did. He hit a fat pitch shot and just choked it.
Yep.
Just went, yeah, like that. And so
Hawk 2'd it in.
He did. He did finish T16, and he got a top 20 at two over par for the week.
Okay.
Which isn't bad. And you have to think that in that shitty weather on Saturday coming into the back 9, like, he's not the longest guy in the world. So, like, you've got guys that are hitting driver and can't get to par 4s. That was probably pretty tough for him. And he's a player that hits a cut, which if you hit a cut on that back 9,
it's a kite. It's turning into a kite.
It turns into a kite that just floats,
Yeah.
right? So, and granted, Colin's got a more penetrating ball flight, I feel like, than most guys out on tour. A lot of guys hit it so high.
Yeah.
Colin can actually hit a low liner.
Flatties.
Yeah, which I like. But that also goes to the fact that Xander Schauffele, he likes to hit a draw sometimes. And he can work the ball both ways. Most people don't realize that. And Xander can move the golf ball. So, once again, if your only shot is a fade on the back 9 at Royal Troon come Sunday, you're probably not going to wrap it up that great.
It's going to be tough.
you really have to have control over your golf ball then. And that's what ended up happening. So that's the recap of the Open Championship. We're moving on, folks. We're absolutely moving on. And I know that none of you, maybe Trot Golfer might know this, that there was an alternate event going on last weekend.
Oh, God. What was it called?
The Barracuda.
The Stableford.
It's the Stableford.
The Stabler.
Stabler. Just a good old serial killer out there stabbing people. Stableford.
That should not be a PGA Tour event.
So this is the entire point of this segment, is that should there be an asterisk to these alternate events? They happen periodically throughout the year.
Yeah.
It's more than just the Barracuda. There's other ones that have gone on that you get a PGA Tour victory. And here's the thing. Sometimes you get like that random dude who's just
That's
like
what I'm saying. It's
Corn
just
Ferry
yeah.
exemption, whatever.
Yeah, that's like a high-end, that's like a premier Corn Ferry event. Yeah.
But you know who
PGA
won
Tour
it?
Light.
You know who won it? Nick Dunlap, who he won as an amateur this year. So
Yeah.
he's the first player ever to win as an amateur and as a pro on the PGA Tour in the same year.
Sort of.
Pretty cool. You know how much money he won? Guess how much money he won?
900 grand.
750, close.
That's got to be like the lowest purse of the season.
It's got to be. I mean, that is so
Not
low.
that he's mad. I'm just saying.
No.
And it helps his whole plight. But
He won at plus 49 points, which the highest ever was plus 50, I believe. I'm just fucking killing it with the stats. Killing
yeah,
it.
no,
God.
You dialed.
I'm getting ready for the next segment, by the way, and pumping myself up for the Bryson and Trump on YouTube. But
My God.
this is which needs an asterisk more when you win a PGA Tour event in one of these alternate events, or when all the LIV guys went away and Scotty Scheffler started winning all of those.
Say that
events.
again. Hang on. Sorry. Say that one more time.
What deserves
I had
an
a brain fart.
asterisk more? When you win one of those alternate events, or when Scotty Scheffler was winning all the events and the LIV golf guys were gone?
Scotty. Yeah.
Come on.
Anglings of being
That's
compared
not-
to Tiger Woods when a whole lot of talent just is not in the events that they used to be in. Changes everything. Changes every variable out there.
You know what's weird for a guy
Not
with
taking it away from him. He's really good, but
a guy like you with food poisoning today, you still smell fantastic.
I
just got
showered.
I got a whiff. I don't know what you're showering with, but we're gonna have to talk about this afterwards because you smell delicious.
I might have stopped at a Dillard's and took a shit there, and then pretty much doused myself up with every sample at the counter on the way out. So
Poor guy, stomach issues. Jeez.
you got to take advantage of what you have in front of you, though, right? And yeah,
Before we do get into Bryson and Trump on YouTube, I mean,
little.
so
tester.
what was it today that got to you? You said some
Oh, man.
Vietnamese kid.
Popped into this Thai place.
Oh, it's a Thai food place.
And,
I love Thai food.
You know, first sign that something's not right. Beautiful place. Felt like I was in Thailand. It was like a sweet little garden. There's a
Love that.
water feature inside there. But
Thailand's
there's
great
nobody
place.
there. There's nobody in there.
Nobody in there.
Nobody even comes out. Like, so we're there for like 35 seconds, maybe a minute. I don't see anybody. There's a little sign that says ring bell for service. Ring the bell. This 4-year-old comes running out. Hi, how many? Okay, booth or table. Okay, sit here. I went, huh? But I looked at him funny, and we caught eyes, and it was like, he might have only been 4. He didn't fucking like me. Like
He didn't like you.
He didn't like me. I ordered muscle man curry, and I'm pretty sure he peed in it.
Muscle man curry?
Masa man. It's a pretty common thing. It's like a peanut curry dish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can get that at most Thai facilities. And it was pretty good. And I didn't even get a high heat level. And then right before I was about to get home and
Oh,
come over here,
no.
yeah, just a satanic fucking gut
And
punch.
you wore white shorts too, which
Well,
is
I'm not gonna
so impressive.
shit through my filters. I mean, yeah, I stopped.
Yeah.
Ran into Lowe's, ran into Quick Trip, ran into Dillard's, and then anyways, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done with that.
3 stops?
Yeah,
3 stops.
yeah, that was a segment.
Yeah. Yeah, it really was an entire segment. So
I ate a roll of Tums. You're
All
gonna
right.
deal with that tomorrow. Anyways,
good old Bryson and Trump on YouTube. I know you didn't get a great opportunity to watch everything, but I did watch the entire thing before this show. And I will tell you that Bryson's channel is actually pretty damn good. You and I were talking about it. Like, I expected the same thing, but I saw so much like noise going on about this damn match on Twitter that I'm like, all right, I got to go and watch this damn thing. I've never really had a lot of interest in good old Bryson DeChambeau's YouTube channel.
No,
I'm just like, okay, he's
zero interest.
giving it a hand, like being a golf influencer, content creator. I get it. I will say that this was the first time that I've heard about his break 50. So he's trying to break 50, the score 50, playing best ball from forward tees.
A lot of guys are.
From forward tees.
Yeah, there's a lot of that's a YouTube.
This is a thing now.
This year. Well, it's not just 50. There's all kinds of trying to break records.
Yeah, all different types of stuff. So I will say this: it was really done. They played from the red tees at Trump Bedminster, which, if you've ever played Trump Bedminster, one of the greatest properties in New Jersey. It is phenomenal. I would put it up there against Boltzestrahl.
You said that before.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I used to go out there and play there all the time when I was in New York City, and it's just a great, great property. They keep it in such great condition, and you could tell from the YouTube video as well that it was just in tip-top shape. Trump had his caddy out there, his one guy who, in New York, you get these guys from like the Caribbean and so forth that come up and they become caddies. And these guys can read greens like you would not believe. Wingfoot is another one that comes to mind, to where I've had some of the best caddies I've ever had at Wingfoot that were like, they don't play golf.
Trump's putting stroke looks like a palsy, though.
It's tough. It's tough.
But it's
tough to watch.
But impact is really nice.
Really straight, and then all of a sudden he like gives it some English.
He's like, who's that dude that used to spin when he hit? Like the Asian
The
dude?
Asian guy, yeah.
What's his name?
I have no idea.
Ho Sung Choi or something like that. No, I'm not even. I'm serious. I think that's his name.
It might be.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
This is, folks, this is where you want to put on your earmuffs. And hang on one second. Anti-Liv has one comment here for Butsy. Poopy hands from the kid got you. I think so.
If he really made the food, then we're running into a different issue. That's a child labor thing. So
Not good.
something happened.
Something happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And poor Butsy got the raw end of that deal. Let me tell you. But this is a spoiler alert. This is the time to where, if you have not watched the Bryson and Trump breaking 50 on Bryson's YouTube channel, then you need to go and get some earmuffs right now and stop listening to the podcast. Come back on in about 5 to 10 minutes. And this is the spoiler alert. I will not give it away whether or not they broke 50. But I will say this. Bryson DeChambeau played extremely well, which really shows how good these guys are in just a casual golf round. When they're not playing under the pressure of playing in a PGA Tour event, a major championship, even a LIV Golf, some of you call it an exhibition. I don't. I still think there's pressure there for those guys. But Bryson just didn't really miss golf shots.
I mean, he played from the red tee too, though, right?
That is true. But he was hitting greens.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think you were right with your comment about Hung Sung Choi. Trot golfer got you.
Yeah, see, I wasn't trying to be,
Wasn't trying to be weird.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the other side to this is Trump. Trump's a real golfer, man.
He actually is.
This
I
guy
saw him
is
like
really
drive
good.
a green, like I think it was like 280. I mean, he actually hits
He's
golf
76 years old and just ripping drives.
shots. Would you fight him?
No. He's a
don't
big
think I would
guy.
either, man.
I think he's like 6'3", 6'4", big guy. But it doesn't look great, but man, he just knows how to play golf.
Yeah.
Like, he actually is a really good golfer, and he's clutch.
He's played a lot of golf,
People started ripping on him on Twitter about him saying that he's had 8 hole-in-ones. I believe it.
No, for sure. He's 76.
Yeah.
He's owned multiple golf properties for the last fucking
You know how
50
much
years.
golf this guy has played in his life?
Shitload.
Jesus. Probably grew up on a golf course too. But the one thing that I do wish, and by the way, Trump did make a lot of putts as well. So like even with that English type of putting stroke that he has there, he actually made quite a few, including the last putt, which I will just, that's a spoiler right there. Now, The other side to this is that Bryson, the one thing that lacked for me, because it was really good production wise, whoever he has on his team that is like filming and doing the video and doing the post production work, putting the graphics up there, awesome. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job in post production with his content. It looks clean, it's good, and it's fast. It's not like, I mean, that was a 56-minute video of 18 holes, and they made it seem like it was seamless throughout the entire thing. So well done for Bryson and his team there, but I wish, and I get that Bryson is a golfer. He's not a podcast host. He's not a show host. His questions were terrible to Trump.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a guy who has probably seen everything on a golf course. And I get that some of the stuff that Trump would talk about, you can't get into because it's probably...
I was going to say there might have been a generalized scripting going on there. I mean, you got an election coming up, and
yeah, but you could have gotten into some good stories with him and everything. But it really, they focused on breaking 50, and I'll give them credit. Like, they were serious about trying to break 50. It's just the questions that he was asking Trump were just not great. They were very surface level. It wasn't very good. It didn't lead to any good conversations.
No.
Let's put it that way.
It's going to be very plastic. Like,
It was like Bryson asking him, hey, how many hole-in-ones have you made?
Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy.
The other thing is that after about 3 holes, I think, Bryson just started talking like Trump. Oh, I hit it great. Oh, I hit that so good. Oh my God, no. That's really good. That is really, really good. Like, Bryson was trying to tell everybody in the group, whoever was filming, the caddies and everything, it's like, no. That was really, really good. I hit that really, really good. No. That is really good. And Trump the whole time. I mean, we've seen this from Trump. I think it's hilarious. He's always going, oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's a great spot to hit it. Oh, I hit that so good. So good.
Not watching it.
It was.
Not going to watch it.
It was.
You told me enough, and I'm just like, okay.
It was a lot, but it was good.
Yeah.
Like, it was actually good content, and it did come down to the final hole. Came down to the very final hole of whether or not they would break 50. I'm not going to say whether or not they did or not. And, yeah, they played well together. I could also see at times that Bryson was kind of geeking out a little bit. The geeky side to Bryson was coming out with President Trump.
Yeah, he cheesed out probably.
He definitely cheesed out several
times. Not watching it.
So, I hope I didn't ruin it for you.
No, you just
I
kind of like, I would imagine that was probably what it was like. And
I kind of realized too that you would come back to me and be like, dude, you said this was good.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be one
I'd
of
get
those
5
things.
minutes into it and just be like, all right, here's what this is. And
But most people are telling me that it was good.
Yeah.
So Anti-Liv says that the only Liv supporters he can tolerate are pro-Trump. There you go. There you go. That's all we can say there. Trot Golfer says, good move, Butsy. So Trot was not clearly not a fan of that either. I will say this. That was the first YouTube video of Bryson DeChambeau that I've watched. I've seen clips from stuff that he's been doing and everything.
It took Trump to get you to watch it.
It's because I find Trump fucking hilarious. I really
Oh,
do.
I do
man.
too, but my God.
Just,
Yeah.
It's a beautiful golf course. It's beautiful.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I hit the ball great. Fantastic. You know, I'm really good at this. Oh, that was the other part that I absolutely just ate up. Bryson's like, why do you like playing golf? Really? That's the fucking question you're going to ask him. Why do you like playing golf?
What is it about it?
And he goes, well, I just found that I'm really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've won a lot of club championships.
Mm-hmm.
Just very good at it.
I did see a clip of him turning on Mac Miller on my Donald Trump shit.
Yeah.
That's what he played that.
Oh, Donald Trump, big music guy. Big music guy.
Yeah,
Loves the music. Loves Sinatra, which I will say, Trump and I have that in common. I'm a big Frank Sinatra fan. You've heard the music I play out on the golf course.
And it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
So, Car Barn Guys wants to know, what would you have asked him? Who is the best female that you have ever played with?
That's what you would have asked him?
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Oh, I would have asked him like when they're
Because
when
you
they're
don't
going
know.
to tell us the truth about aliens.
Good. Yeah, that's pretty good too. I like that. But
He's made a multiple comments
just
about it.
just imagine asking him, who's the best women that you've played with? You have no idea where he's going to take that conversation.
Oh, I see where you're. Yeah, I don't know.
There's two lanes that he could go
There's a
down.
cat in that tree. Grab it by the
Yeah.
pussy. Let's get that thing down.
Yeah, might. You never know. Cats, that is cats. Now, that's it for me on this whole Trump Bryson thing. I got to move on.
Aliens, though, for sure.
So you're spot on, by the way. I 100% would ask about the aliens.
Yeah.
You.
What's going on in Antarctica? What do you know about it?
Oh my God! Absolutely.
Let's
know.
go.
Yeah.
Etc.
Oh, dude, you're not wrong with that. And just see how he answers it, because he's been pretty forthright with some of that
There's
stuff.
some very interesting things going on there. That's all I can say at this point in time.
Yeah.
But let's just say there's some very interesting things going
Stuff
on.
that I know that you don't want to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, woo!
Yeah. Oh no, that
Blew it out.
Definitely blew it out.
I'm sorry, I got to.
Yep. All right. Moving into, yes, folks, there is another PGA Tour event this week, and I am calling it the Minnesota Open, a.k.a. the Swanie's Open, because guess who is based out of Minnesota? Good old Swanees. They go to the 3M Open. That is this week, and here's the preview. Producer, go ahead and pull that up for us. We've got, this is full-on FedEx Cup season, folks. This is where it's really either you're going to buy into the FedEx Cup or you're not. And I'm telling you right now, every year I get a little bit more into the FedEx Cup. It's tough, but you got to do it. You really got to do it. Like fall season, I get it. You can't really get into the fall season. That's silly season.
No.
But FedEx Cup, something we can get behind. You know, there's a big trophy. There's a lot of money out there.
How much is it?
4 million, 10 million, 10 million, or is it 20 million? 10 million.
I think it's 20.
I think it's 20. I think you're right. I think it's 20 million.
Okay.
The money was never important to me
No.
as a fan. I like the big trophy. Like the trophy's actually pretty nice.
I don't know what it looks like.
It looks like it's a modern looking trophy. It looks like you could murder somebody with it.
It's big.
Yeah. So as Kyle said, who knows you well, you're a big FedEx guy.
Yeah. No, I hate FedEx. They're really expensive. I'm a USPS guy.
You know what I was going to ask you? I'm like, are you a FedEx or UPS guy? But you brought in USPS.
Yeah, I'm a USPS guy. Yeah.
You know what's sad about the Postal Service is that I went in the other day over here, right next to where I live, and on a weekend, on a Saturday, one person working
How'd that go?
in this massive post office.
Where are you sending?
I wasn't. I had to do an address change, and they made me do an in-person verification.
Ugh.
They're like, we don't believe this is you, sir. I'm like, I used my fucking credit card to pay your $1 fee.
Yeah. Sons of bitches.
Crazy. Maybe they should up that fee so that they can get more people working. They had a line out the door.
Poor bastard. The one guy
Oh
working.
my God. It was a woman. Poor woman.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, she was a woman. Trust. But this is full FedEx Cup season.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, moving
I
on
was
from
trying to
that.
Fuck with you a little bit.
500 points at this event, which the winner normally gets between 260 to 270. Now, don't ask me what makes the difference because, yes, I do know it is based off of how many shots they win by
Yeah.
and the rest of the rankings of the tournament. So it ends up being anywhere between 260 to 270 FedEx Cup points to the winner. Do you remember last year, Lee Hodges, the Alabama kid, who his coach went out there and was just like super supportive, was like, this is the greatest player I've ever had.
No.
And yet Justin Thomas is from Alabama. You got other great golfers from Alabama.
Lee
and
Hodges.
he's just like, Lee Hodges, one of my favorite guys ever.
No.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm glad I didn't see.
Yep. So this takes place at TPC Twin Cities, folks. In Minnesota, we got Arnold Palmer was the course designer alongside with a consultation from good old Tom Lehman, a guy who loves to draw the golf ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been compared to Tom Lehman before. before.
Well, you're the lefty version of Tom Lehman,
Very
where you
similar.
hit these slingers.
Drop in.
You know, I got asked today during lunch. It was a buddy of mine who he watches the show periodically,
Yeah.
but actually, buddies in his golf group watch the show and listen to the show more than he does, and I was a little upset with him
wow.
about that.
Yeah, that's
Now,
bullshit. You're
that-
having lunch with him.
I know.
He's a good friend.
And that being said, he brought you up, and he
Uh-oh.
goes, you know, is Butsy a good golfer? I want the inside scoop. And I was like, yeah. I was like, he'll shoot low 70s. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. I was like, and the best thing about Butsy is hits the ball left-handed, putts right-handed, and hits a slinger of a shot. I go, his personality comes through in his golf swing because that slinger, this guy has the softest hands in the game, can get up and down from anywhere, and when he gets it going, he starts slinging those shots right at the flagstick. Yeah.
I'm flattered.
It's
very nice.
I talked a little highly of you, and I just realized it as I was just saying that. But the whole point was that you sling the golf ball in there, and you're good at it too.
I've learned to embrace it.
You have to embrace it. It's part of your personality.
Yeah.
If you didn't sling it as that hook, you just couldn't be on the Pull Hook Golf podcast.
It'd be boring.
That's right.
Yeah.
It brings in that personality. So, folks, this is a par 71, 7,431 yards. So it is definitely a golf course that is in Minnesota. That's all I can say about that. The signature holes here are the 7th hole, so watch out for that when you're watching on the Golf Channel this week.
What's 7?
The 7th hole is a par 5, 572 yards. So it's a big boy. They'll get there in 2, though. Hole 14, which is a par 4, 355 yards. Good old risk reward because you can drive that bad boy. I think Minnesota, you got some elevation up there, right? There's some mountains up in Minnesota,
yeah, it's
I
like
think.
close to Canada. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, like
So
you
there's
got some
gotta be.
elevation.
Yeah, there's got to be.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cold up there, which tells me there's got to be mountains. So that's why elevation, you can probably hit it a little bit further. Hole number 17 is a par 3, 177 yards. And then I love it when a golf course finishes with a par 5.
Yes.
Which is what we're going to see at TPC.
How long is it, though?
Twin Cities. It is 598.
So a big poke, you might be able to get there.
You might be able to.
Well, there's definitely plenty of people out there that can hit.
Yeah.
Driver.
And if you're at
300.
elevation too,
yeah,
get it.
There's probably a lot of people getting home in 2 there.
Yeah. Our field analysis for the week. Billy Horschel leads the way. After his Open Championship run, we've got, and by the way, he was the first one on the range this morning.
He said he would be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll be there at 7. Bam. He was out there, first guy out there
Billy Ho.
this morning. What a legend.
Billy
Really
Ho.
sticking to his word.
Billy Ho.
After being in the mix there Sunday at
Billy
the
Ho.
Open Championship, flies over Tuesday morning on the range. What a guy. I bet good old Micah, who is his caddy, probably had a couple martinis before the practice round because
Yes.
that's a lot of travel for your boy.
Oof.
And that's not fun as a caddy to have to go through that. But Billy Horschel's going to take care of him, I bet. Now, Sahith Theegala's playing this week. Our
Very excited about that.
Brown Praying Mantis, Akshay Bhatia, is going to be playing. We got Tony Finau out there. A lot of people have been high on. God, I had the best DM over the Open Championship weekend, and it was an audience member
Who was it?
took what I said about Justin Thomas, which a buddy of mine asked me, hey, who do you like this week from these guys? And it was a group of guys, and Justin Thomas stood out to me, and I'm like, you know what? I'd probably go with these other 2, but my gut tells me Justin Thomas is going to have an interesting week. So after the first day, I'm like,
That's a good take.
I don't know if Justin Thomas is going to finish up the week well, so I ran with it the very first day.
Mhm.
I got a message that was like, Justin Thomas sucks. Tony Finau is going to kill everybody this weekend. And sure enough, the next day, Tony Finau just absolutely shit the bed. So
Fuck that guy.
I love it when either I
Not
say
Tony
something
Finau.
about somebody and then they shit the bed, or somebody else does. It just makes me feel good when somebody else says it too.
Fun getting random takes via DM from people
I
that
do.
you don't
It's
know,
so
right?
fucking weird, but I
Yeah.
love it.
Oh,
I actually
yeah.
do love it. Now,
Thanks for letting me know.
Tom Hoagie's also in the field this week, who that is a perennial top 20 guy. We'll get into that in a second. Sam Burns, who absolutely shit himself in the final round Sunday, was in contention going into Sunday, just shat himself. Keegan Bradley, our Ryder Cup captain for 2025. Your boy Jake Knapp, the mullet man. And then Nick Dunlap, who won last week, who is our amateur, now pro phenom at 20 years old.
God, he swings it good, though.
Odds for this week. So here's the top odds. Tony Finau's at plus 1,100. Sam Burns is plus 1,800. Akshay Bhatia plus 2,000. Sahith Theegala plus 2,200. And then Billy Horschel and Luke Clanton, an amateur, right?
I was going to say,
He's
Luke Clanton?
He's played in 4 events, has made 4 cuts, finished T2 at the last event he played in. He's the Florida State kid.
Okay.
Who's 19 years old, I believe. Plus 2,500 for those two. Now for the pull hook picks of the week. Butsy, why don't you go ahead? I think I know who you're going to pick.
Nap.
Yep.
And then
Sahith
Theegala.
Theegala.
And number 3.
Oh, you're going 3?
Yeah, I got to have a third. That
Okay.
way. We should have. Didn't I have 3 last week? Didn't I say?
You could, yeah.
I think I said.
You said Tiger Woods,
Xander.
and Tiger Woods.
No, I said Tiger doesn't have a chance. We'll just keep it at 2. That's fine. That's okay.
I am going to go with my guy, Akshay Bhatia. I like his game right now, like where it's at.
You're going with the Mantis.
I'm going with the brown
I
praying
was
mantis.
thinking that. I was like,
Yeah.
nah, there's too much, yeah.
And then this is not as big of a lock as Xander top 20 last week, or I'm sorry, top 10. Tom Hoagie top 20. You can bet a bunch of money on this one. Tom Hoagie is going to finish in the top 20 this week.
You think so?
Yeah. He's a perennial top 20 guy. That's why he sneaks up on you, because all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, Tom Hoagie's like 5th. Oh shit, Tom Hoagie's 3rd. Oh shit, Tom Hoagie's 2nd. Like Tom Hoagie's always just like around the leaderboard. So
What about Scott Stallings?
Scott Stallings is not. No, we're not even going there. So,
Sorry, Scott, if you're watching.
No. You got it again.
Oh, it's the
Yeah.
it's the cackle.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay. We're back to full strength here.
gonna be hit it again. I'm gonna throw that voice at it
Truck
again.
Golfer says Burns will do it. I don't agree. Johnny Vegas. So from Kyle, good old Johnny Vegas. Yeah, that's great.
Nope.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's who's doing it.
I love whenever it's like a 3-guy pairing, and Jonathan Vegas is in the group. Good old Jaeger's in the group, and then whatever the other guy is, because then it is, let's say Merritt, because Troy Merritt at the Open Championship, or at the Waste Management Open 2 years ago, it was Merritt, Jaeger, Vegas.
I think Jason Gore's gonna get it done.
Jason Gore, well, I don't think he's playing this week.
Or who
so.
just beat the other dude? I was watching something and they went to like a 5-hole playoff. Was it Jed or what's his name?
Well, Jedediah Morgan? No.
No.
That's the guy who made our wooden chairs at
there's a guy-
Weekopaw.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The Amish fella.
Yeah, he played on Live Golf for a couple years. So who are you thinking of?
Fuck, I can't think of it. I literally walked with him at the Houston Open. He's a Titleist guy. He's been out there. He had his like 600th start or something like that.
Zach Blair.
No. Stroud maybe? No.
Don't know.
Irrelevant.
Don't know. Yeah.
I don't
we're
know what the fuck.
Moving past it. Swanee style segment. So we go from the Swanee's Open to our Swanee style segment. What do you think? Did you see Scotty Scheffler's Nike jacket on Thursday?
Yeah.
The line in the back, and it was just like floaty.
It was dope.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I got to disagree.
I thought it was sick.
That thing was fucking terrible. And I normally like Nike stuff. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Are you sure you saw it?
Yeah.
I don't think you did.
It's sick. Let me pull it up for you right now.
Yeah, I don't think you saw it.
What? You think I'm lying about it?
Yeah, he was in the bunker, and it looked terrible.
No, that's just called style, man.
Trot Golfer says, look like comfy rain gear. Okay, so the second part to this.
It looked like OG rain gear.
With the rain gear is why does navy blue rain gear look so damn good?
Because it's like almost the color of water, probably.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other rain gear that some people won't like that I'm going to bring up.
Is this what you're talking about?
No, that was actually really good. That was from like a year or two ago.
What the hell are you talking
The-
about?
so Butsy just pulled up the tan rain gear. Nike
It was
nev-
baggy.
I don't think Nike ever sold it. The tan rain gear. I looked for it for so long. They wore it during the Masters. Him and so Scotty
And
Scheffler and Rory wore that at the Masters, the tan rain gear, and it looked awesome. I like that a lot. But at the Open Championship, the navy blue popped. Now Dean Burmester.
Whether I saw the gear or not, I liked it.
You're going to regret that one. I am going to show you, and you're not going to like it. Malbon rain gear on Jason Day, Trot Golfer said.
Dope.
He liked that. I'm not opposed to that, but did you see Dean Burmester with the navy and then the rest from like the chest down and the pants were all green, that bright green?
No.
Yeah, that was pretty sharp. But the navy blue was just classic, man. Billy Horschel was in the full navy blue. Shane Lowry was in all navy blue.
What do you think about a clear one with
Looking
like
right.
live goldfish in it?
Could be dangerous, but could be good.
Yeah, it's like you're
You know what I
wearing the
mean?
water, but the water can't get through, but there's fish in there swimming around.
And the fish feel like they're at home because it's raining.
who knows? And then
Yeah.
you crunch one in your armpit trying to hit a squeezer and it's dead. Now you gotta
But then
put
you
one
have
in there.
lunch. You have a snack during your golf round.
A little sushi.
We could have just figured out a real solution for the golfers that don't like to eat during the round.
I think about putting goldfish in a lot of apparel and outerwear.
Are you speaking of the cracker goldfish or
No,
like
I'm talking
real
about
goldfish?
real ones. Like I want to just
Now, do you believe that they only have like a 3-second memory?
fish tank driver cover.
Goldfish, 3-second memory. Do you believe that?
Yeah, look how small their head is.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a tiny thing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Do they live long?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably why they're like a quarter at PetSmart.
You ever go to a local fair and like those are the prize? Like little goldfish
No.
in a plastic bag?
Oh, that's like a way throwback when you win the little, you throw the ball into the
yeah.
little ding, ding,
And
ding.
you get a goldfish in
There's
a bag.
goldfish. God knows has been out here all day this evening. It's yours now. It's not
like,
breathing.
I don't think they have those anymore. It's like inhumane apparently.
Yeah.
But
Those bulgy eye ones are inhumane, looking like Kamala Harris in the free zoo section of Petsco.
they've just literally been in an airtight plastic bag for like 17 days.
I didn't know that there was a real zoo when I was a kid because my parents would always take me to PetSmart and just take me over to the fish area and let me run around for free.
That is awesome.
I had no idea.
You had
And we went on a field trip and I was like, that's not a dog. Look how long its neck is. Fucking liars, dude. My whole childhood was fake.
You hate to hear it.
Yeah.
Hate to hear it. All right. Well, on that note, let's get to some real zoo
God, that made me
animals.
sad.
LIV Golf UK, real zoo animals out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got some characters.
Yeah.
So this is at the JCB Golf and Country Club in Stratfordshire, England. Or London. England? Yeah. Yeah, that thing.
I did look this
Okay.
course up and it looks sick.
It's legit. I mean, this was designed by Robin Heisman of the European Golf Design in 2018. This is one of the premier golf clubs over there in London, and its rating says so. 146 slope, 77.1 rating. That's a golf course, my friend.
77.1.
77.1 with a 146.
So explain that again. So if you're a scratch, you're going to shoot 77.
77.
Shit, I'm
And then
shooting
you add the
75
slope
out
into
there
it.
for show.
So slope makes it even more difficult. So yeah, and a scratch golfer's probably shooting 79, 80, I would imagine.
Do we want to play there?
I would love to play there. Let's get the invite.
Yeah.
Oh no, Dr. Barry McConkener has
Oh,
made
he's
an
back.
appearance. 146 isn't that hard. Yeah. Well,
Dr. Barry
that's something.
just got done with some freeze-dried rabbit from the fridge.
Oh, yeah, we're going there. Now, with that said, signature holes there. They've got a standout hole. It's the par 3 17th. very reminiscent of the 17th hole at TPC Sawgrass, but instead of being a short hole, it requires a precise 230-yard carry. Think of TPC Sawgrass at 230 yards. That's what they're going to be dealing with this week. But it's going to be interesting, and it's elevated, okay? So it's an elevated tee. It's going to play tough. The one thing that I do wonder, because some of these setups that LIV Golf has put into place they've definitely been on the easier side. So
This is not that.
I don't think it will be. Like
Is this the hardest venue?
they made Valhalla very difficult, in my opinion. And I do think that this week is probably going to be one of the more challenging golf courses they play all year.
I'm excited to watch it then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's going to be fun. Get to watch it on the LIV Golf Plus app. And let's get into the individual player analysis, okay?
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I just wanted to touch this trophy, but
It's gorgeous. It's huge.
it's beautiful. It's massive. It's a lot bigger in person.
Still don't know what it looks like.
Right there. That's great. Now, individual analysis. Previous winner last year was Cam Smith. Can we expect anything from Cam after missing the cut at the Open Championship?
I mean, no. Like, probably not. Yeah.
He hasn't had a terrible year on LIV, but he hasn't been great either.
Yeah. He's another one that just kind of slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just probably doesn't give a fuck about golf that much anymore. I don't know. Maybe he does. Like, I don't know.
So
Wish you could just have these guys answer a couple questions.
I
mean,
love that Trot Golfer just said Rahm's week this week. So he's literally the next one on the list. So John Rahm, only LIV golfer to
You're going Rahm. No, you said no other pick, huh?
to be. He's the only LIV golfer in the top 10 last week. I think this turns his season around. What do you think, Butsy?
Oh, again, we go back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, is there any fire after coming off of something like the Open where you do give a shit and now you're thrust back into, okay, now we're back out here? Like, I don't know. Maybe blew his load with trying last week.
Okay. I am going to say, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to agree with Trot Golfer. I do believe that this is John Rahm's week. We shall see. Dustin Johnson played abnormally well in the Open Championship. I was really hoping that he was going to be a storyline heading into Sunday. He faltered a little bit and ended up not being in there, but he did finish. I want to say he was top 20, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he make the cut on the number, right? Or close to it?
No.
No, he was in.
No, he was in. Dustin Johnson, let's see where he's at on the leaderboard. I think he finished.
A good old Sepp. Always hunting around, too.
Oh, there he is. T31. Yeah, he shot 4 over on Sunday.
On the back
Not
nine.
good. Yeah, and then I think Saturday he struggled too. Because
Still.
he played his way back into the tournament on Friday. He had a really good round. Let's see what he shot. Can't really see.
DJ's probably a better pick for this week than Rahm.
So, round 1 he shot 74. So he was 3 over, and then round two shot 2 under. Yeah, they got right back into it. He was plus 1 heading into Saturday's round, and then I mean he was around there. So Dustin Johnson playing in decent form, I would say. I would put that in a decent form standpoint, right?
Yeah, he made the cut at the Open and finished in the top 40. It's pretty solid. Trot
Golfer wants to know: do they really get $4 million for a win that may help John or Rahm while he's playing well? They do. They get $4 million for an individual win, and they get $4 million for a team victory that gets split up amongst the team, as long as the captain says that they can, or the owner of the team, so to speak, who tends to be the captain of each of the teams, gets to dictate whether or not the players get that, or he's getting reimbursed for something else. But that being said, Dustin Johnson is the next topic, which he played well in the Open. He finished 5th at this tournament last year. DJ normally wins 1 time per year on LIV. Will this be the week?
It's long. Like, yeah, I mean, I think that's a better pick. I don't know if he's going to do it, but I think it's a better pick than Rahm.
Okay.
I think Rahm is, yeah.
Bryson DeChambeau finished 13th last year. Will he get into the top 10 after his big YouTube video with Trump?
He might top 10. He's not going to win.
Okay. Team analysis. Previous winner was the Four Aces when Dustin Johnson played well. They've not been the same team in 2024. The first 2 years of LIV Golf, the Four Aces were the it team. Everybody's like, oh, they got a dynasty. They're the greatest team
They
ever.
won everything.
Yeah, not anymore. I mean, the Crushers have become that new team. Stingers are good. You've got even Ripper, GC, which are the Aussies with Cam Smith. Those guys have won twice this year. So the Four Aces have not done.
What do you think the
that
weakest
great.
link is there for the team? I mean,
Man, for the Four Aces, DJ has not had a great year. Pat Perez has not had a great year. Which Pat was solid the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Like he was a good fourth player.
Yeah.
And then on the final day, he actually would play pretty gosh darn well in some of those events.
yeah,
He's-
like clinched it.
yeah. So I don't know if that's been an issue. They also have Harold Varner, which Harold Varner can be a lot of a personality. Harold Varner loves himself some Harold Varner, and he's going to let you know about it.
I've gotten that from following him on the gram.
Yeah.
That kind of bleeds through.
So, and then Peter Uline's on the Range Goats. He was traded over to the Range Goats. I'm trying to think who's the fourth guy on the Four Aces now. Why am I drawing a blank? I know this. I cannot believe that I am losing it right now.
You're not losing it. You're just
Oh, Patrick Reed. Duh.
you covered a lot of fucking stats tonight.
Patrick Reed.
We're at the end of the show here. It's
Man.
like,
And Patrick Reed has been playing well. So I got to say that it's probably Dustin Johnson and Pat Perez who
Patty P.
have struggled. And then Harold Varner has not played the greatest either. So you got that going for you, which is nice. Now, Ripper GC was second last year. 2 wins so far in 2024, but Cam is trending poorly. What do you think they can do this week?
I don't think they're going to do shit. I mean, yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it. I've kind of fallen off, honestly, with having an opinion on the team golf. As much as I like it, I just don't keep up with it. I'm not like.
Is it the long breaks?
Yeah, there's just not enough for me to really be engaged. I definitely care who wins individually. I still think there's a pretty deep field out there, but from a team aspect, I like team golf, but not enough. I just don't pay enough attention. Like, it's not like something
There's too
I'm
many
following.
big gaps to know who's in form and who's keeping form.
That's what, yeah.
And that makes it tough to be a fan and be into it. Like when baseball season starts, all of a sudden you're going to have baseball every single day pretty much. Basketball season, you're going to have it pretty much every day.
Like, it'd be cool if they were fielding teams. Like, let's say they rejoined the PGA Tour and it was like the Ryder Cup where, we're going to field a team based on merit halfway through the season, and we're going to have 5 teams, and the best are going to get picked to play on these teams. Like, something like that. I don't know.
That could be cool.
Just having teams, because that's what, I don't know. I'm changing my tune a little bit about the team.
Yeah. Stinger GC is my favorite for the week. That's Louis Oosthuizen, Dean Burmester, who was a top 20 at the Open Championship, Brendan Grace, and then Charles Schwartzel. So I like them in terms of that.
Okay. Trump could be on the LIV Tour.
Yeah, Doctor. Doctor also says that it's called load management. The NBA does it. That's actually pretty funny. The tour is not engaging. They need the tour, and the tour needs them. It's time for the PGA Tour team golf.
Yeah.
I would love to see that as well.
That's
I would
where
love to
I'm
see
at.
it done well. I feel like for some reason this year, out of all years, has bothered me the most with the amount of time in between LIV golf events. And that has led me to believe that LIV golf is falling off a little bit. It's losing the interest of guys like Butsy, who are pro LIV golf guys. And
For
it's
sure.
and even for myself, I follow it closely. I watch every event. The last one, and I told you, was the first event that I didn't watch live, that I had to catch up on afterwards.
Some shit needs to change. Like,
Yeah.
if you're gonna, but again, we're in this whole. As soon as they went into this holding pattern with the PGA Tour, it just lost a little bit of credibility for me. I mean, if we were bringing up guys from all over the world that weren't on tour and they were now coming up and LIV and they were beating guys that came from I don't know. None of that's happening. We're just kind of finishing it off at this point. with what it is, and we don't know what it's going to become.
Dr. Barry, you're getting here a little late because we went through a full recap of the Trump and Bryson video. But Butsy's not going to be watching it. He caught some clips earlier, but as I gave a full breakdown as I watched it today, he is not going to be watching it. So
let me know how it is.
Do check out the podcast version of this. It will be out tomorrow afternoon, so you can catch up on all the action, and there'll be a YouTube video as well of the podcast that gets edited and put together from this recording. Now, the last team is the Crushers. We can expect another top 3 from them. Bryson is the weakest link playing internationally, so everybody else is playing pretty well for the Crushers. So, yeah, I kind of expect Crushers, Stinger, and, maybe the 4 Aces
No 4
this
Aces
week.
resurge?
Yeah, I think the 4 Aces will be back
Dustin's
this
gonna
week.
play good this week.
You know what? As you say that, I kind of feel it as well.
Played pretty decent, in the Open, and you're headed right into a really long golf course. And like you said, he hasn't peaked yet like he has in the past. So,
wow, Doctor loves YouTube golf over PGA golf, over LIV Golf, over LPGA.
YouTube golf.
All right, fair. Listen, I know a lot of people love YouTube golf, and it is interesting. Maybe we'll create a podcast that is just about YouTube golf, and we break down YouTube golf channels. Who knows? If it becomes big enough.
YouTube golf's super relatable for people that have never played competitive golf.
I think that's accurate.
Yeah. It's relatable.
Yeah.
It's relatable shit.
It's like, oh, you're going out and playing around a golf. Cool, with your buddies. And
it's hard to relate to what's going on at a professional level. Like, if you've never done anything like that. Like,
that's pretty fair point
and what those guys are feeling, you don't really understand that. Not saying that's you, but I would say in general,
yeah,
that's probably true.
And then for the final segment, which I told everybody we would be saving till last, but because of some health issues tonight.
I'm dragging. I apologize.
Poor guy's dragging. I went over a lot of this in the beginning of this live, but this is for the podcast listeners as well. That will be out tomorrow. The new professional putting league in Scottsdale, Arizona. Yes, folks, it is presented by Pole Hook Golf and Butsy. Yes, Butsy's part of Pole Hook Golf, but he's also a part of this as well. Yeah. So we've got Pole Hook Golf and Butsy bringing to you live commentary of a professional putting league that is all ours.
And we've been working on this for a long time.
Would you say it's about 3 months now in the works and it's finally coming to fruition?
Well, the day after we did the broadcast.
When was that?
It's been a while, dude.
That has.
It's been a minute. So, yeah, we've been talking about it, and it's finally coming together, and I'm actually super surprised at the amount of interest. When I actually put up that post, literally just saying it's happening, here's when it starts, all of a sudden, people coming out of the woodwork, DM and email address. I mean, there's a lot of people that are interested. And we're cutting it off at 40, right?
20 teams. So 40 players
40
altogether.
Peeps.
So it is 2-person teams. There's only 20 team spots available, so there's going to be 40 players. Now, each week, there's going to be skins. There's going to be prizes that Putting World is going to provide. Mm-hmm. There's going to be drink discounts as well as food discounts each and every week. But it is going to be the 2 totals from each week of, I'm saying this completely incorrect, but it's going to be the individual team. So each player from the team, 3 out of their 4 rounds over the first 4 weeks are going to count. It's going to be cumulative between the 2, and then it's going to be ranked. The top 10 teams get into the championship week, right?
Yeah.
Championship week, the top 2 teams are going to get a bye in the first round. You're going to see match play, 2-man teams from there. Did get a question tonight around, is it going to be best ball in that team match
format?
Play championship? And I'm like, at first I said yes, but then I started thinking about it. We're going to have to look at each week because I think it needs to be cumulative to where you add the 2 scores against the other 2 scores.
Yes.
Because
especially
that's the only way.
Skins.
Yeah. Well, in that final round, in that championship week, you got to imagine that you're not going to win enough holes if it's best ball because somebody's going to, like, how many times does just one person make a 1?
Right.
So you want the
There needs to be a
cumulative.
decider. And
Yeah,
that's gonna
because
help that.
if your partner all of a sudden hits a ball out of bounds.
How many rounds are we doing for the championship match?
Championship match, there is going to be, so
2?
I believe there's 3 rounds.
3 total rounds.
Yeah.
And we saw this when we broadcast. It gets heated and it takes some time. So it's like it's a championship day.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's super, God, it's fun.
It's going to be a blast. And just so that everybody knows, you're going to pay for the season in advance. So it's a full 5-week season.
Yep.
So let's say that you have something going on one week. Okay. We understand. Everybody has something going on sometimes in the professional putting league.
Mhm.
3 out of your 4 scores are going to count. So if you play all 4 weeks leading into the Tour Championship,
You technically have more irons in the fire. Like you will get rewarded.
Exactly. Yeah. You are going to have 3 rounds that are going to count. So you get to choose your best 3 rounds. If somebody misses a week, they only have 3 rounds. So it's going to be those 3 rounds that count. Each team, you're going to be able to name your team. We're going to be able to throw up there maybe a little logo next to it. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, and the other thing we didn't mention, I mean, and I'm not gonna say names, but obviously it's cash in the pot. But there's some sponsors that we're working on as well.
Yeah,
that I won't name.
So the winner,
yeah,
the winner of the team championship, is so each team the winning team would get $2,000.
Yeah.
As a prize. That's the minimum amount if we get the full 20 teams.
That's bare minimum. That doesn't include
sponsors come in, that prize money is going to go up.
And stuff like things of value. So, yeah, I'm stoked on it, dude. Like I can't wait.
Oh, I can't wait to just absolutely destroy some of these teams with the commentary.
Do people realize that we're going to actually be broadcasting this live each week?
Yeah, on millions.co and on YouTube.
Like we're really going to be out there like
shitting on you.
Like a sports event, broadcasting it. It's going to be sick.
Here comes Paul. He's getting up to his putt. He looks a little nervous right now. Knees are shaking. Oh, dear God, it's out of bounds. Oh, his kid just turned away. He's leaving him.
Notice you got a 6-footer here to tie. Now, how do you feel about that? How many drinks we had tonight, first of all?
Yeah, 6-footer.
Yeah.
A lot of money on the line.
What are we doing for skins every week? So here was my question.
Yeah.
If you don't get in on the team, right? Because you're doing cumulative, so everybody's just going to play their ball out anyways. If you just want to show up and putt in skins, can you pay your green fee and putt in skins?
We're going to have to talk about that.
Right.
This is an exclusive league.
I think so, too.
We want to do interviews, and we want to get to know each of the players.
So you can't just pop in. You really...
Yeah. That's why I was telling...
you're either in or you're out.
What's his face in the beginning of this, before we came into the podcast recording, Nathan Strand.
We don't want toe dippers.
I was letting him know that, like, hey, this is exclusive to where, like, there's only 20 teams. So once we say you can sign up, you better be ready to sign up, because otherwise you might miss the opportunity of being in the inaugural season of the Professional Putting League, presented by Pull Hook Golf and Butsy.
I would say there's a chance we could have. We're doing the first one in the first, right?
First one's going to be August 1st.
Yeah, so let's shoot for no guarantee, but sign-ups probably by Thursday afternoon, if not Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, where you can go and get going. So,
yeah, and outside of
it's gonna be fun.
Working with Butsy, figuring all of this out, you can hear that it's the first time I've talked about the actual format and everything that's going to be going on. It's going to be a lot more clear as we get to Friday and we start to release stuff on our social media accounts. So do pay attention to Pull Hook Golf on Instagram, as well as the Butsy on Instagram, because we're going to be stating when you're going to be able to sign up, the details behind it.
Yep.
And as I mentioned, 2-person teams. 20 teams only for this first inaugural season. We may go into expansion in future seasons, but it's only 20 for the first season. Now, it is $500 per person for the entire season. That covers all your greens fees and puts into the prize money at the very end to the winner of the team championship. In addition to that, as I mentioned, we're going to be doing the live broadcast on millions.co as well as YouTube. Butsy and I are going to be doing the commentary. We're going to be doing individual player interviews. We're going to be doing team interviews. We're going to give quite a bit of our platform to these individual professional putters
Oh,
and the teams.
if you're in this, you are. I hope you're okay with it. You're gonna be seen. You're gonna be heard. You're gonna be on there. We're gonna maybe do some sit down interviews.
Oh, absolutely.
You're probably gonna see guys that don't like each other. Maybe there's gonna be some competitive.
There
stuff
might be
going.
some rivalries, some
It's what
Phil
I'm saying.
Tiger stuff.
Yeah, like you never know.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
we're going to sit them down and interview them at that point as well. And keep in mind that there's going to be skins each and every week, but it is important to know that it is your cumulative team score over the first 4 weeks. You're going to take 3 out of your best 4 rounds. And as a team, that's going to lead into championship week. That 5th week, championship week, top 2 teams get a bye in the first round. Then from there, it is match play all the way through to we have a winner.
Yes, sir. Enough said.
Enough said.
Love it.
Trot Golfer, Sunday, August 4th. First All About Golf skins game out at Palmbrook. Give All About Golf a follow for details soon.
Cool.
I'll let you have that one, Trot, for doing a little ad on our broadcast. But that being said, folks, I think that pretty much covers it. This has been a long one.
Yeah. Yes, it has.
Almost 2.5 hours. This might be the longest episode we've ever done.
Yep. And I got to poop again.
And poor guy's got to poop. He's going to have to stop at the gas station
Yeah, I'm
on the
not
way
gonna
home.
do that here. No. This is going to be something else.
So just want to thank Swanie's Golf as we wrap this up for being our sponsor of the Pull Hook Golf Podcast. Folks, get 25% off your entire order at swannies.co. That is SWANNIES.co. Pull Hook Golf 25 at checkout. 25% off your entire order. Not just one item, your entire order. Once again, folks, thank you to Swanie's and thank you to Butsy for giving us a flu game tonight. We appreciate you making
Thanks,
it.
brother.
And until next week, folks, same bat time, same bat channel. We out. Peace out. 8-10.
Love it.